Buffalo Sabres continuing their West Coast road trip tonight. They'll take on the San Jose Sharks. At the Sabres pregame skate earlier today, Alex Tuch taking part after missing Tuesday's game due to illness. Alex Lyon had his own net. That's an indication that he will start tonight. Face-off for Sabres and Sharks set for 10 o'clock. Pregame will get started at 9 here on WGR. Around the NHL, 10 other games around the league tonight, several that could affect the Sabres in the playoff race. Boston hosting Winnipeg. Montreal facing off with Detroit. Those two are currently the wild card teams in the Eastern Conference. Ottawa and Columbus chasing both of those teams in the wild card race. Ottawa takes on the Islanders tonight. Columbus at home against the Rangers. Tampa Bay chasing Buffalo for first place in the Atlantic. They'll take on the Kraken tonight. In football, according to ESPN, the NFL is looking into the potential of replacement referees if a CBA cannot be reached with the officials, the current CBA expiring in May. NCAA tournament action today. The round of 64 underway now. Buffalo, very busy downtown. And with more on that, we go to Brian Koziel live at KeyBank Center. Brian, what's the latest?
Hey, Derek, we're into the second half of the first game here between Louisville and South Florida. And Louisville in control right now. They've got a 20-point advantage. They're up 57-37. It's been really the woes from shooting from threes for South Florida that's done them in. They only have one make on 17. They're 1 for 17. Louisville on the other side has made 10 threes, so they've been able to extend their lead. As though it's a very pro-USF crowd here. Brian Hodgson, the former UT assistant, the crowd trying to cheer them on, but a major uphill battle right now. 13:30 to go in the game. Louisville leading 57-37. Game 2 of the afternoon session will be Michigan State and North Dakota State, and then 2 more later tonight. Brian Koziel live here at KeyBank Center. Derek, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Other tournament action going on right now. We have a tight game between number 5 Wisconsin and 12 seed High Point. The Badgers currently leading 47-46. 2 other scores earlier today that concluded. TCU with the first win of the round of 64, 66-64 against Ohio State in the 9-8 matchup. 4 seed Nebraska moving on easily, 76-47 over 13 seed Troy. This update is brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Derek Kramer. You're listening to WGR.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
I don't think that's a very good attitude.
It's Mike Schopp.
You don't think? You don't think? I don't think you should be butting in when I'm talking to my team. You're my assistant, okay? You're supposed to back me up and go get me juice boxes when I tell you. Now go get me a juice box. You know who you're talking to.
It's the Bulldog.
I'm talking to the juice box guy. You're crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm just thirsty. Why don't you go to hell? No, you go to hell. While you're there, why don't you grab me a juice box? I'm no juice box boy, I'll tell you that. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Yes, you
It's
are.
Mike
I'm not. Yes,
Schopp
you
and the
are.
Bulldog on WGR Sports Radio 550.
Hi there. Hey now. Welcome to Seneca Buffalo Creek. We are here. You can come here and gamble and bet on the games and do lots of things, eat, drink.
Watch the games?
Well, that's the one thing you can't ask us, though, is to ask us how the games are going.
Right.
We have literally no view of any of the games.
Right.
We're watching slots. We're watching.
Yeah.
We're seeing how that's going.
And hey,
and I got roulette.
There could be action.
Roulette isn't.
I'll
take roulette.
You take roulette. I got this Phoenix Lynx kiosk of
yes.
slot, whatever that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's an operation over there. Yeah, I got that. And the games are on like 300 TVs right behind us that we can't see.
There is one TV with the Duke game on that I can see as long as I spend the whole day making you think I'm looking at you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is basically just staring over your shoulder to see Duke.
I guess I could.
Which I'm not willing to do.
I could also.
It's only Duke.
Way. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
They're going to win easily.
I'm not sure I would do that for the final.
Yeah.
If we were here for are we here for the final? You didn't hear?
I haven't gotten.
If we were here for the final,
an email yet.
I still don't think I would watch it over your shoulder. I would just wait until I got home.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah. But so anyway, we're here, and it's buzzing.
It's buzzing and it's beeping.
There's always beeping.
There's a lot of beeping going on.
Beeping.
We've got some shirts and other stuff to give away if you happen to come down and see us here at Seneca Buffalo Creek this afternoon. I had a thought. So I think what we have arrived at with the Sabres is another chance to, if you are so inclined, consider, debate the Bills' chances and the Sabres' chances, or versus the Sabres' chances. The Sabres have done a lot of things already this year. Even I say already because it's not yet the playoffs, and that's really what it should be about. But it's not only about that for us because they haven't been to the playoffs in 14 years, which is,
right,
record stuff. But for all the different milestones along the way, now they're first in the division, everything else that's happened, we're all asking ourselves if we sort of trust it. The Bills versus the Sabres has become interesting again. The Sabres started that by becoming interesting on their own for the first time in forever.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bills are at a point where I don't want to say it's stale because they've been so good and they probably will be good again. So stale isn't really a nice enough word.
And they made the most significant change I think even McDermott being moved is more significant than if Bean had been moved, right? I like the head coach, the guy that's in the room, like whoever picks the players is not really active on game day, right? That's McDermott's team. So that's not stale. I mean, that's a whole new voice, new leadership. Forget about the scheme and how many new players will come with that. I mean, that's a significant change.
Speaking of that, there's two things I'm also thinking about a lot recently that I feel that we have not spent enough time on. And one is giving you your deserved, righteous platform to talk about Matthew Stafford winning the MVP, which that really should have been done by now. It really hasn't happened yet. And, I mean, he was your boyfriend for like a decade, and then he won the MVP, and we haven't even talked about it at all.
I'm still in love with him.
I don't want to.
I'm just saying. He was. You said what?
I don't want to pry.
You said that in the past tense, and I just wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
I don't want to pry.
Yeah, no.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
anytime. I'm not comfortable speaking publicly on it much more than I already have.
Which is not at all.
Which is not at all. Right. Yeah.
And McDermott, that really is over.
Yeah.
And they could have made a different choice. My feeling about it has always been this was easier than the opposite. Replacing the GM instead of the coach. I believe that they were just not getting along anymore to the extent that it was going to go forward. And so they made the decision with the loss. Maybe if they win the Super Bowl or even make the Super Bowl, that doesn't happen. I kind of think that would have been – what do you think? If they had made the Super Bowl and lost, would there have been a coaching change? Because maybe that being the thing, there's no proverbial playoff wall, right?
That's out the window then. And that doesn't mean that they still wouldn't have been headed for a divorce and still ended up there. It just means that as a talking point, as a reason, right, as a fulcrum, if you will, for the decision swinging like it did. You like that?
Wow.
I just feel so alive today. They would have had to use something else, which could have been maybe more, more believable if you thought that there was this friction, which I feel like I was tuned into that pretty early in the season, that it sounded different. McDermott was just lobbing these little clues in places. I don't know, do you lob clues? You plant clues. You lob bombs.
I lob fulcrums myself.
So they still could have ended up in a bad place and wanted to make a change. They just would have had to use some other mechanism to trigger it rather than we can't get over the playoff wall. And who knows? Maybe that would have ended up being even more honest. Because I just don't buy the playoff wall. I don't buy that Terry Pagula walked in there and saw Josh crying and thought, I got to make a change. I think it's way more likely that Josh and other players on the team sensed that they knew what this loss meant, and that was why they were crying or why he was upset.
I agree.
I think I just cost my coach his job. Like, I think that could make you emotional. So anyway, I think that story would have gone by the wayside, but they still could have done something. It would have been weird with them getting as far as they've ever gotten and then making a change. But if there was a philosophical problem between the two, when that happens, you can still end up there no matter how good your season was. And I think it's very possible that that's where we would have ended up anyways.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's what I mean with, have we really sort of processed this yet? That it will not be Sean McDermott on the sideline for the first game at the new stadium. That was part of it too. Last year.
Almost I would say every time. Often enough when it would come up, and if there was enough time on the clock in the segment, and like, one other thing, and I would say, and I would always sort of like, I don't like that I really feel this way, but I feel like this is a factor too.
I love that you care about how much time is left, unlike those morning guys. That's another reason why I respect you so much. Yeah, I mean, were they really going to have a good season and pretty much go as far as they've gone, even if it's not less far? I mean, they did make they did win in Jacksonville. Maybe if they lose, what did we say at the time? If they lost the wild card to Jacksonville, quote, trouble. Jacksonville,
yep,
then that's a different look than what happened.
I will admit a part of, I know I said I'm way more relaxed going into the Denver game than I was the Jacksonville game, and I think in some way, not that it really, really mattered to me emotionally, I just think it felt like the pressure of change was gone after they beat Jacksonville. I did. That's why it was still so surprising to me that they made the move that they made, because I sort of felt to me like, yeah, you can't get past Jacksonville in a wild card game. Really, anybody in a wild card game. What are we doing? We're going backwards. Okay, we got to make a change. And now I recognize the divisional round is backwards from the year before when they were in the AFC title game. So I guess, maybe that still plays a part, but I thought they were kind of in the clear. Status quo after they won on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, we did not spend. I mean, we wouldn't normally have done this anyway because it's just like weird and morbid. But the week of the Denver game, we were not spending 1 second on would there be a coaching change if they lost.
Right, and Jacksonville, I don't think we talked about it directly, but the pressure point was there. What if they lose this game? Like, I remember you phrasing it and sort of apologizing at the same time. Every time.
That sounds like me.
Like, I hate to say this, but what if, everything was, what if they lose this game? What if they lose this game? I mean, not literally everything, but there was a lot of that. And that was gone the week leading up to the Denver game. So, I don't know, bad read by us, but
no,
it just didn't seem like the same scenario.
I'm not beating myself up over that because it was there are 8 teams left, and you're trying to win one. Like, I think in any context, thinking about next year, that week was weird.
Yeah,
would have been weird. But plus, on top of all those points, McDermott got all the praise for the Jacksonville game.
Right.
Like, he got more credit than anyone else for that win, and then still. Right? I mean, it wasn't so much Denver where people wanted to talk about, defensive schemes. But Jacksonville, that happened. And if it was not put to bed, this topic, before that game, it was after. Then still, we didn't even make it to Monday morning.
Right.
Well, we made it to Monday morning. We didn't make it to Monday afternoon.
Right.
After the Denver loss with McDermott. So,
and now the Sabres are what? The picture of stability?
Well, this doesn't have to morph into a Sabres topic like it was intended to be. But I do think we have not. When will we do it? When will, over the offseason, I mean, it's already, I'll say mid-March. I don't want to say late March. Tomorrow's the 20th. Is tomorrow late March? Tomorrow's the first day of spring?
You get to the third week of March, it's late March.
Anyway, so we're past free agency mostly. The draft is in a month. The NFL. It's kind of all the time. We'll have the schedule, and then we'll have mini camps and whatever else. Like, By the time we get, when do we get to what it's actually going to be like in the stadium? Like, that'll be soon. The stadium piece makes this year different than other years.
Yes.
Because we'll talk about how much it costs, where do you want to sit. We just don't know anything yet.
It is, I think, a more impactful change. Every fan wouldn't sign for this. I think it's a way more impactful change for the fans than changing the head coach.
Well, it's so different.
It is a different, but it is like your experience with the team has been one thing going to the games for your entire life. Yep. And that has changed.
Even ours.
Yeah, right. We've had, lots of coaches while going to games in that stadium, but even though it's just across the street, it's an extremely big change. Not that anyone is saying it's not, but it is. I don't know. It's a lot to unpack.
I guess I want to say, in a way, I'm not going to like how this is going to sound, but I'm impressed they would do the thing.
Yeah.
Going into the new place.
Yeah.
Because it makes you think that the stadium element didn't matter.
Right.
I mean, it would be a reason to not. To almost, what would it be? It'd be a reward to McDermott, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To give him
helping
that night.
Thanks
that
for
day.
helping us get here.
Because, I don't want to say there wouldn't be a stadium without him. I think much more of the Bills' success is Josh Allen than anybody else. But you can't deny
if their success
98-50.
However, if their success mattered at all to getting the funding, just making the whole thing happen, then maybe he has a case to deserve some level of reward. But I don't know that, I know how it can sound. This team is languishing. If the playoff drought had continued and they were, the league was putting the heat on for the new stadium, I don't know. It's always a lot easier to get public sentiment and therefore government sentiment on the side of something that looks extremely successful. And being 500 and missing the playoffs for an 18th, 19th, and 20th year in a row is not highly successful. So
I would agree.
I don't know that it wouldn't have happened without them winning, but at the very least, it had to help in some way, I think. But again, I wouldn't want to say it wouldn't have happened without them.
Well, the Bills
being good.
The Bills have evolved or elevated to a point where this has been true for maybe 3 years now. Getting to the Super Bowl is all that's left. I mean, they made the AFC Championship 6 seasons ago. And really, you could go that far. You could go to 21 and say that's all that's left to count as progress for them.
Yep.
And they have not done it. They've hit their heads on the ceiling in the AFC playoffs every year since. So it's 7 years in a row. There's a playoff wall, or I like playoff ceiling more, I think. But that's what's happened. And the only thing left to matter, right, is to break through that. And here are the Sabres, and they've got it good. Because I think all they have to do this year to put smiles on faces is get in. And they've almost already accomplished that. Is that different now? Are they too good for that? I mean,
I wonder about that. I really do. I don't know about the average, people listening. If they're, because
people,
I believed that this team was definitely going to make the playoffs around, when the 10-game win streak ended. I thought, they're good. I think they can do it. I did not expect them to be where they are now, which is 2 points off the lead in the conference, right? Carolina won in overtime last night.
They did.
You see, and everybody knows that probably because you're paying attention to what Carolina's doing and what everybody else is doing.
If I knew it, everybody knew
right.
it.
But I don't know. I feel like losing in 6 games to your name here in the first round as a division winner, or even as home ice as a 2 if they end up there in the division second place, would kind of be a letdown. And I know that's crazy because 3 months ago we would have just taken, Just get to 89 points if that qualifies, right? Or whatever the number is, that's really low.
We would have taken a first-round sweep loss.
Yeah. Just get in.
Get in.
I just want
to change the conversation. Change the subject.
And instead now, I mean, I'm watching Ottawa, Washington last night on Sportsnet, like national broadcast in Canada, and pregame show or maybe first intermission. I don't know. The panel there, it's David Amber and Jen Bottrell and Colby Armstrong and Luke Gadzik, I think.
You mean Bottrell?
Is the guy who said they just had I wasn't paying close attention, but I think they went around the panel like, who do you like in the East, right? And his answer was Buffalo.
Who's?
Gadzik. He's a former player, and he's on that. He's nice-looking guy, nice suits.
All right. Interesting.
And he's a regular there, and just not being and no one was like, oh my God, it's a credible idea on a national Canadian hockey show. Like, yeah, I think Buffalo could make the final.
The clothes make the man.
I tell you, it's a sharp dresser, this guy. And like that makes me feel like you can't just go lose in round one.
Let's call him.
You gotta get there.
I know, but they'll get in and maybe host, maybe even win the division. What is you speak the language? What kind of favorite are they against anybody in the first round? It's hockey.
Yeah.
I mean, are they even a minus 160 against anybody?
For the series?
Yes. Who's the team that would make – Detroit is who we talk about for this. Detroit would be the team. They have Montreal tonight.
All right.
Don't they? Montreal-Boston was 2 nights ago. Tonight's Detroit-Montreal.
Not sure I should know the schedule, but I don't.
I think they do. Anyway, they've been the team we've used for this point. Who's the easiest first-round opponent? The Red Wings. Not that it's that different. If right now the Sabres opened Saturday, they kicked the tournament out of the building so they could use the building for hockey, or they play super late at night after the tournament has left and host Detroit, 11 p.m., whatever.
I don't think there's any way they're no minus 160. They're
lower.
It's closer to 105, 115.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's hockey, and especially if it's Detroit. Detroit hasn't been there in 10 years. I haven't been there in 14. They're going to, in this scenario, what do they end up with, 6 fewer points than me? I don't know. I think it'll be almost a coin flip.
Okay.
And a part of that is because Buffalo, I think, will not get – if Buffalo ends up with 102 points, I think a lot of people – I'm trying to think how I would – I know I watch a game every night, but I don't know how good every team is from watching them, 4 times a season or whatever.
I think you do.
But I just doubt that the Sabres, whatever they achieve, first place, 102 points, like I said, would get a lot of gambling respect. Be like, who are you again? How do you what? So I think it'd be close to a coin flip.
14 games left.
Almost whoever they play.
102 points would be 12 more, 6 and 8.
It's not even good.
6 and 2. Would you take it?
Sure.
That's not even good. Yeah, I take it.
Yeah.
Let me talk for 20 minutes about how good they are, and then take a kind of bad record.
500
the rest of the way. Okay.
102 points
This is exciting. Here in this setup at Seneca Buffalo Creek, I get we're like every other day on our laptops. And I feel like I'm just going to show you stuff.
I am sitting. Oh, that looks good.
I'm just looking at recipes.
Smoky chicken and peppers penne.
Yeah,
right,
New York Times Cooking is my new favorite.
I'm here for that.
My new favorite subscription.
All right.
Is New York Times Cooking.
Yeah.
My son and I are going to make mozzarella sticks tonight. I literally bought the string cheese mozzarella.
And you're just going to.
We're just going to bread it and fry it and freeze it.
The egg wash, just like you would a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Bread it, freeze it, and then he's got Taste of Canisius tomorrow, and he can lug those things in there with some sauce. And here. And some may question, where did you buy these? No, we made them at home. Dad and I.
I've never thought of doing that. Who doesn't love deep fried cheese? That sounds like a great idea.
Super easy.
Yeah.
I say that now.
Oh.
He and I don't cook a lot together. Duke, down 8. I looked at Bulldog and I saw over his shoulder Sienna, Jerry
Wow.
McNamara's Sienna Saints, up 8 over Duke with the ball, closing in on the 10-minute mark first half.
That's hot.
Did I sound a little?
Yeah, no, that's I'm glad you. Yeah,
Duke down 8.
yeah.
Bills or Sabres, comparing the two organizations and, the state of their lives. 803-0550. 4 o'clock, Jeremy Kahn, Baltimore, on the Ravens. We'll talk to Paul Hamilton late on the Sabres, who are in San Jose. 10 o'clock game. We might hope to mix Brian Koziol in. He's downtown, well, so are we, but he's actually in the arena. He's not at this Duke game. Duke down 10 now. Double digits. Sienna.
I may have to turn my chair.
A 16 and a 1. If you want a 1 to lose, wouldn't you love it for it to be Duke?
Yes.
I mean, they're the overall favorite, number 1 team in the nation. Come on.
100%.
I'm getting a little excited. This is March. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here from Seneca, Buffalo Creek. Back after this timeout on WGR.
The ceiling for this team is the Stanley Cup final right now. You have all the analytics, all the stats, but the eye test, they have 8 defensemen that can play right now. They have 4 lines that are very stout. They have a great center depth. And the thing is that they're playing with confidence. They're learning how to win on the fly. And the thing with what I see from this Buffalo Sabres is the togetherness of this team. The togetherness as a whole. This team, they are playing playoff hockey right now, and I think the sky's the limit for them because I think they still have another level to get to. And I think we haven't seen their best, but we're seeing close to and their best that they've ever shown right now, but I think they're going to keep elevating their game.
Welcome back. Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. Jason Demers, NHL Network. In on the Sabres. Duke. Not a Buffalo game. Buffalo game so far is the Louisville game. Up 9 with about 5 minutes left against South Florida. As far as I know, where we're situated, we can't see any of it. Unless I stare at Bulldog and make him feel weird, and then I can see Duke a little bit. Sienna up 9 at the 8-minute timeout first half.
Scoot forward a little bit, and you can look past me, and I won't even see you doing it. How's that? Does that work for you?
Well, it's okay. Now you know if I'm looking over there, that's why. Because we found one TV. I think, like you said, behind us are a million TVs.
There's a wall of TVs right behind us. Yeah. There's a backdrop between us and it.
We have a view of Moolah.
Awesome. Yeah, right.
We get to see Moolah. We get to watch Moolah today. Eric Wood in town with Louisville, leading South Florida.
Had seen some word on Twitter that he was hoping to get here, and I'm glad that he did. Good for him.
I guess I don't know that he did.
I mean, I'm sorry.
He told me yesterday he was coming.
Oh, okay. I thought you had some evidence that you
no
knew
new information
here.
on that.
Well, I hope he's here as well.
Expected to appear.
If you're, if you're a known, I don't know anyone else from Louisville. I don't know Lamar Jackson. I know he went to Louisville. Like, we know Eric. We've been talking to Eric on the radio for years and years.
You don't
know
Lamar Jackson?
I don't know Lamar Jackson. But if you're like Woods, Eric's a pretty notorious alum. Like, he had a really nice NFL career. He's an NFL analyst for one of the stations or one of the teams. He should get to wherever Louisville's playing. So I hope he made it.
Oh yeah, I know he was planning to. Most famous NFL player from Louisville. Let's do that for not necessarily on the air for every school. Johnny Unitas comes up first at Pro Football Reference for Louisville.
Wow.
And then Lamar Jackson is right behind him and will pass him any day in their metric. Weighted career approximate value, for those of you that don't know all these things.
Nice. Love it.
Then third is a former Bill.
Eric Wood?
No. Not to laugh. It's very respectable.
Preston Brown?
Ted Washington went to Louisville. That's how I say it.
Eric
Louisville.
Louisville. What did I say? Louis. All right, anyway.
Wait.
Eric doesn't outrank Ted Washington?
Well, look. Again, we can see each other's monitors today.
Yeah.
Here's Eric.
Yeah.
47. Maybe it's biased against offensive linemen because there are no stats.
Yeah.
But way up here, Ted Washington, Sam Madison, Joe Jacoby, Tom Jackson.
I got no argument with any of those guys.
No?
I guess.
Teddy Bridgewater, still doing it.
All right.
That I remember. For a minute, there are a lot of these guys. Almost every year, it seems. Is this how you feel? Doesn't it feel like almost every year, a year before the draft, the number one quarterback is someone else than who ends up being the number one quarterback in the draft? Like Bridgewater was that. He was like, you gotta see, this guy is it.
Yeah.
And then senior year, or not even sure it was his senior year, but his next year was not as good.
Brian Brom was one of these. Brian Brom was thought to be would be the contender for the top pick. He went back to school and ended up being picked in the second round. And I don't think that was just like one commentator. He was thought of. I think if you even go, maybe this is on his Wikipedia page. I think I remember him being one of those guys. Jake Locker was one of those guys.
Yes.
Oh man, this guy. Wait till you see him. And then he went back to Washington, I think, for another year, and he wasn't as high. He still got drafted. He got overdrafted probably. That was a year where there was Minnesota grabbed a guy.
Ponder.
Yeah, Christian Ponder. Thank you, Florida State. I think that's that same draft. And, a bunch of guys got picked higher than they should have been, probably.
I'll give you one more that I think is right, but it's more obscure. Josh Allen.
Well, Mel Kiper had him as his number one guy. You're right. After the 17 draft, I believe he was
at or around that draft.
Mel's
it was
number one. Right. Look out for this guy next year.
Yep.
Yep. That tracks.
Although, I don't know if that was just sort of a reach at that time. There were other great players. Mm-hmm. Jackson, your buddy, had just won the Heisman in 17, so he wasn't too obscure.
No.
But what's Carson Beck for this? A year ago, were we at Carson Beck would be the number one guy this year? And, I mean, he's on the list, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember hearing a lot about Fernando Mendoza before this year started.
No. He transferred.
So there's that. I don't know if Beck... I feel like the kid at LSU...
Nussmeier?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I feel like he maybe would have been a better idea for that. I don't know if either of them were talked about as that, that level of prospect. I don't remember Beck being talked about like that for sure. I'm not sure if Nussmeier was. I'm not sure who would have been.
So I guess the point is a lot can change in a year.
Yeah, no, that's right. Cam Newton's an example, not of someone who was rated highly, but someone who, when the college football season began, you got to remember hearing anything maybe in the weeds out there. SEC people were saying, "Wait, did you get a load of this kid Auburn got?" But I don't feel like before the season started, anybody was talking about Cam Newton, and the season began, and he became the first overall pick.
This is one conversation, and the draft. This is the time of year for it. Where it's funny because this is how I feel about the NCAA tournament when we get to it. Where I feel a little bit jealous of people that really know it. Or, like a little bit like I've let myself down for yep. I'm grasping at straws with these names and trying to remember years and Mendoza, sort of like a light bulb goes on for me because I saw him play for Cal last year at Pitt.
And you said when you came back from that game, this guy's going to be the first overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft.
I had no
of course you did. No.
Thought about that ever. It was a good game. My son and I went to Heinz Field, which might not be called that, and watched Pitt, Cal. It went down to the end. Pitt won. We had fun. There were people around us who were friendly and knew the Pitt team really well, like a season ticket block.
Yep.
And it was a great time. I never thought for a minute about who I was really watching.
Right.
Pitt made a 55-yard field goal or something, and Cal missed a field goal. Like that's every Steeler game I've ever seen, which is Boswell making a field goal from a million yards away and the other guy missing from 28. Right. Like it felt like a Pittsburgh game.
And that
then,
open air end of the stadium.
Somebody opened the door. It's fixed.
Right.
And I just never thought about any of it and couldn't have told you the name of the Cal quarterback until he was a star for Indiana. Like, oh, wait a minute. That's that guy. And now I'm like, oh, I saw a Heisman Trophy winner play in person, which is the only time I ever have, I think. And I love that, but I never would have thought of it. So I'm jealous of people like the tournament comes around. This is your 3 weeks here.
Yeah.
Where like Sienna's up 10 on Duke, which I think is still correct. 9. At the 4-minute timeout in the first half, Duke is down 9 to Sienna, 116.
Look out, everybody makes a run.
And, somebody knows, somebody could have a conversation. I'm just not the person.
Right.
Have a conversation with you about the matchup there and how they're doing it. Jerry McNamara, I know, is the Sienna coach, the Syracuse star, and so far so good for him. Looks like Wisconsin's lead is down to 2. They were double digits up on High Point. For a while, that was a close game, and now it's close again. Minute and a half to go. Wisconsin up 2 in the West. Louisville, across the street, is up 8 with 2:18 left on South Florida. My computer is telling me this. We cannot see any of it. It's the definition of irony to be downtown when the tournament is here at a casino and we cannot see any of the games. Actually, you know what? Good news. That monitor over by Roulette has switched to Duke.
They heard us.
So you can see that. You can see the game over there.
Baby with his rattle was crying, and they changed the channel for him.
Yes.
Thank you for that, everyone.
Yes, whoever had a hand in that, we owe you one. We will talk to Jeremy Kahn about the Ravens and the AFC coming up in about 20 minutes. Paul Hamilton joins us late. Downtown, Louisville, South Florida. Louisville up 6 now with 2:01 left in that one. Next up is Michigan State and North Dakota State. I saw North Dakota State repped here today when I got here. So listen for those guys if you're watching the game. Listen for those 3 guys I saw walking around.
Do that. Yes.
Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here at Buffalo Seneca Creek. Timeout. This is WGR. Tournament Day. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog from Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino downtown, right in the neighborhood of first-round play. Louisville and South Florida first up at KeyBank Center. Louisville up 6 in the final minute. But High Point, with 11 seconds to go, leading Wisconsin by 1. And, not to bury the lead, Sienna still up double digits on Duke. 43-32. Bulldog, that's double digits, right? Carry the one.
That is 43-32. It's 11.
36 seconds to go in the first half. When I've looked at this game, like, Sienna is getting some easy baskets. 2-on-1 dunks. Like, they're not just throwing in necessarily throwing in bombs to take this. Duke has 32 points in the final seconds of the first half against Sienna.
They don't want it bad enough.
It could be right. Who to ask? Sportsbook manager here at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino, Tony Sinise, who's been on our show before.
Yes, once before.
And you came back.
I did. I'm
How about
happy
that?
To be here.
What a compliment.
Absolutely.
I'm taking it as a great compliment. Is it halftime? It is. 43-32 Sienna. Now, probably not where we want to start, but we know from, being on our phones and coming here, like the New York teams, you can't do anything with them. There's 5 of them, 4 or 5 in this tournament?
There's 4 men's teams, and we want them all out here in the sportsbook. Nothing against Sienna fans.
You'll be the one guy here rooting for Duke.
Exactly, and I actually have never rooted for Duke in my life, and I'd always root for a 16 over a 1.
Until today.
Until today. We need Sienna out and the other 3.
Hofstra is one.
Hofstra, Long Island, and of course, St. John's.
St. John's.
Yeah,
that could be tough.
That's a dangerous one for us.
Well, thanks for having us, Tony.
Yeah, and so how, you've been busy today? Like, is this a good time for you?
Yes, this is very busy today. We're of course, 2 blocks from the arena where the games are happening. So we had a huge crowd, and then about 1:20-ish when everybody went to the arena, it died down a little bit, but yeah, it's been very busy all day here. Like I said, we're a couple blocks from where the games are playing. So,
what kind of promotions have you got going for today, and even looking ahead to Saturday?
Well, first of all, if you're coming to the game or in between games, we're right across the street essentially. We also have a shuttle running from our property to the arena, even though it's close. But if you don't want to walk, you want to park, you want to come in here, get something to eat or gamble, and then we'll drive you over there and bring you back. That runs till about midnight tonight. We're also selling seats in the sports lounge. So it's a $50 seat. You get a reserve seat in front of our big TV wall. And we're also going to give you 5 domestic beers. We're going to give you something to eat as well. It's a nacho platter or Wecken wings or burger sliders.
All included.
All included in the $50. And, of course, you could have priority access to our betting windows and kiosks as well with that. So that's, we're doing 4-hour blocks. So today the first block is essentially over.
Right.
But, if you want to come here, we have 4 to 8 and 8 to midnight tonight. We're doing the same thing on Saturday as well. Honestly, Saturday is going to be really fun because we have a 1 o'clock UFC in London, which, for the combat fans, that's a big deal. And then a 4 o'clock Sabres game. And all that is going to be going on.
Basketball all day
right
as
when
well.
basketball is going. So we'll have all the games on the TVs and, a comfy spot for you guys to sit. Yeah.
Right, very cool. One of the first times I ever was in Las Vegas, I was at the Rio, and it was a Saturday in the fall. There was Ryder Cup, college football, of course, wall to wall. That starts at 9 in the morning out there, if not earlier. And I sat down. There were all these booths open, and I sat down, and someone came over and said, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm just going to sit here." He's like, "Well, that'll be $10,000."
Yeah.
So $50 seems like a good price.
50 is a good deal.
Actually, you can help me. Do you have $10,000 I can borrow?
Yeah, that's what I was all set, except for the 10 G's.
I mean, $50 for 5 beers and food alone is pretty good.
Yeah, right. Buy the food for that price anyway.
We also have a promotion going on called the Fast Break Fortune. So basically, all you have to do, this is the easiest promotion to get into. You just have to take your social club card over to our promotional kiosks, which are just behind us here at the bar. Swipe your card and you get free play. So you can get up to $100. Not everybody's getting $100, but you can get up to $100 free play just for swiping your card at our kiosk.
I should go do that.
You should, if you have a card.
I do.
If you don't, we can sign you up.
I've had one for many years.
And then another option for that is if you swipe your card, you're either going to get free play or you get an opportunity to shoot baskets. So we have like a Pop Shot arcade basketball hoop over here. If you are lucky enough to swipe your card and see that, you get 3 shots, and each shot you make will be $100 free play. So you can get up to $300 free play.
Nice.
Wow. I don't know if I want that. I might just take the 100 rather than
miss
the
shots.
shots.
Yeah, right.
I could miss them all.
A lot of pressure.
I'm sure you get something if you miss them all, but yeah.
Ridicule.
Yeah, you get
scorn.
Booed. Yes.
Booed.
That's what we like.
All right. Looks like High Point has beaten Wisconsin outright. What's that spread? Likely, you don't know, do you, Tony? That'd be good.
Not off the top of my head. I apologize.
Might have been double digits. Yeah. I don't know, but
I will say Wisconsin was heavily bet today, as was South Florida, who also, last I checked, was down 9 points.
Yeah, 10 seconds left in Buffalo, and Louisville's up 7. So, interesting.
Yeah, it's
with the points, or
it's much better than last year, in my opinion, where it was like the chalkiest of chalk tournaments. It was all number 1 seeds, and
right.
I think there was one team, I can't. Colorado State or somebody that made a little bit of a run, but I prefer the upsets, not only for personal, but the sports books.
Unless it's a New York school.
Unless it's Duke losing to Sienna.
Unless it's Sienna.
We might lose a 1 seed by dinner time.
Right.
Tony, thank you for having us and for your time.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Tony Sinise, sportsbook manager here at Seneca Buffalo Creek. We'll talk to Jeremy Kahn on the Ravens in the AFC after this here on WGR.
The Buffalo Sabres continuing their West Coast road trip tonight. They'll take on the San Jose Sharks at Buffalo's pregame skate. Alex Tuck taking part after missing Tuesday's game due to illness. Alex Lyon had his own net. That's an indication he will start tonight against San Jose. Face-off for Sabres and Sharks set for 10 o'clock tonight. Pregame will get started at 9 here on WGR. Around the NHL, 10 other games around the league tonight. Several can affect the Sabres in some capacity. Boston hosting Winnipeg. Montreal facing off with Detroit as the Bruins and Red Wings currently hold on to the wild card spots. Montreal trying to chase Buffalo and Tampa Bay in the Atlantic Division. Ottawa and Columbus also trying to get into wild card positioning. Ottawa takes on the Islanders tonight. Columbus at home against the Rangers. Meanwhile, the Lightning also chasing the Sabres in the Atlantic Division. They'll face the Kraken tonight in Seattle. To football, according to ESPN, the NFL looking into the potential replacement refs if a CBA cannot be reached with the officials, the current CBA expiring in May. College hoops, NCAA tournament action today, the round of 64 underway. Buffalo in the midst of hosting 4 games, and with the latest from KeyBank Center, we go again to Brian Koziel. Brian, what's the latest from downtown Buffalo?
Hey, Derek. Well, the first game just went final, and it was kind of one-sided for most of it, but it got very interesting down the stretch. Louisville holds on to beat South Florida 83-79. The Cardinals led by Isaac McNeely and his 23 points. The story for South Florida, they could just not get it going from three-point range. They end up going 5 for 33, just 15% in the game. That seemingly was a huge difference in the outcome in the Cardinals' 4-point win. So Louisville advances to Saturday here at KeyBank Center. They'll get the winner of this next game that's about to start here in about 20 minutes between Michigan State and North Dakota State. That game is scheduled to tip at 4:22. Then there's 2 more games later tonight. Top seed Michigan in the East region. They'll be here in the 1:16 game against Howard. And then the late game is 8-9, Georgia and St. Louis. Brian Koziel reporting live here courtside at KeyBank Center. Derek, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. And speaking of 1:16 matchups, Duke currently dancing with danger. They trail 16 Sienna 43-32 at the end of the first half. Meanwhile, we already had a major upset going on here. 12-seed High Point taking down 5th-seed Wisconsin 83-82. This update brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Derek Kramer. This is WGR.
Hopping on the Padres late wasn't a good idea.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
When did you do that? After the game started?
Right before they got the double play.
When I cashed out. I told you I cashed out, then you bought in?
I went in.
It's Mike Schopp.
I cash out, which I say I never do, and I literally tell you I'm doing it. At that moment, you decide to bet them and not say anything?
The segment was starting.
And the Bulldog.
Oh, yeah, sure. I still have them, and now I don't even know if I want it because of that move. That is a certain kind of move right there.
It's Mike Schopp.
What, you're offended that I bet them because you cashed out?
I'm not offended that you bet them because I cashed out. I'm a little bit offended that you didn't say you were doing it.
And the Bulldog.
I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
But that makes it even worse because that's what you say when you don't really mean it.
Well, because I don't really mean it. Because I don't think I owe you a damn thing.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
I was in an app and I bet them, and that's my private business. I decided to share it with you.
On WGR, Sports Radio 550.
The memories.
I enjoyed hearing that back.
Me too. Me too. I have a tip, not that they need one, probably, from Mr. Local Radio Afternoon co-host guy. Anybody listening who might be broadcasting these tournament games on a national basis, you need to know 2 things. I'm trying to help here, okay? I'm your friend.
All right.
1, stop it with the last names of the players all the time, as if we know who they are. You're announcing High Point, okay? Who's Smith, who's Jones, who's Johnson, who's Williams? We don't know who that is. It's just everybody should be called High Point. Otherwise, we were just lost. Who has the ball? You're not doing Warriors Cavs here.
Right. Mm-hmm.
2 is never say Hoop and the Harm. Like it's interesting or cool in the very slightest. You're a loser if you would ever call a basket with a foul happening with the basket a hoop and a harm.
Hoop and the harm.
Come on, get over yourself.
Yeah.
What do you want? A T-shirt made?
Yeah, probably.
What do you want? What are you? The next Marv Albert?
That is probably the end game. There.
Just stop.
Yeah.
It's called a basket and a foul, and one is fine.
Yep.
Hoop and a harm. Oh my God. Do we have Jeremy? Great. Jeremy Kahn. So
he doesn't need any of these lessons, Jeremy Kahn. This is
not this guy.
This is a seasoned pro here.
Exactly.
I just had heartbreak in the Louisville game. I heard your update. I had the over at 162.5, and they came out so bad.
Oh.
And then it finishes with 2 missed free throws, and it goes under by a half a point.
No, really?
Dude,
yuck.
So
That game happened across the street. We can't see it, but that is that's a.
South Florida's a good 3-point shooting team, and they were 5 of 33, I think, or 35, something like that. It was crazy.
Oh, I mean, Bulldog already called you a seasoned pro. I know you know this stuff. Does that count as a bad beat? You lose a total by a half point with 2 missed
it's hard
free
to
throws?
consider that a bad beat. I mean, realistically, the pace of the game was great. They just couldn't make anything the first 10 minutes of the game, and then it started to go the route that I thought it would take, and it picked up and just fell short because I think I needed 13 points with 3 minutes left to go, and they went scoreless for a minute and a half, and they did all that damage in the last 25 seconds.
But
you never felt more alive that whole minute and a half, right, Jeremy?
It was a great game. It was a great game. I'm just, look, those sweats are fun. It just sucks to be on this end of it.
Are you they say in rounders, like many of us, you remember your beats better than you remember your wins? Maybe.
I think that's every gambler, right? Yeah. I mean, there's some really tough luck with it. I remember back in the day, I had, I think it was Georgetown, minus 16.5, and somebody chucked up a 3/4 court shot, and it went in, and I lost by a half. It was
wow.
So this is gambling, huh?
This is now in the 90s when I was living in Rochester, but I called a number. I did that thing. I called the number for the tip once, Jeremy. Only one time, I will say, but one time I did that for the bet of the night.
Is this I only had 3 beers? If
No.
you called one time, did you really call 10?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't lie. I called one time, and the person was like, "Oh, let me get your name and number," and I said, "Well, I really don't have any time for that." I did. I lied, but now I'm lying.
Yeah, right.
To them.
They'd still be calling you, so.
Yeah. No. Right. I would not give them my information. They asked a second time, and I said, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that." And they said, "All right, Milwaukee plus 8.5 at Miami." NBA, Milwaukee plus 8.5 at Miami. Honestly, I don't know how somehow through AOL probably I'm following the game. I don't know. I couldn't have watched it anywhere. I'm just
way back when.
Maybe it's the 10-minute ticker on ESPN or something with update. That might have been it. The game goes to overtime. Oh, this is great. Maybe I'll call again. I'm going to win.
Oh no.
Miami wins by 9 in overtime. Is that a bad beat?
The ones, man. Yeah.
You didn't call us to talk about this.
I don't know what it is when you feel like you're the dog going to overtime, that it's just somehow, some way the free throws aren't going to go in my favor.
I know, right? You're just praying against overtime all the way down to the zeros, and then oh no, this is going to be bad.
Right. Now the favored team is going to pull away, and I'm dead.
I've been telling that story for 30 years. I probably lost $10. All right, well, let me force a segue in. Bad beats, Max Crosby. So what is the attitude, in your opinion, of the Raven fans with regard to this? Do they possibly hold it against? I mean, we talked about this. If this had been us, I think maybe Bills fans would have liked Brandon Beane doing something like this, pulling out of the trade and getting some, doing what DaCosta did.
Player, yeah.
How does it sound there?
Well, it's funny. So, I'm not one of these guys that tries to break stories or anything. If something comes to me and I hear it through the wire, I don't mind saying it, but I'm never trying to be that guy. And this is one of those situations where I was told a lot of this stuff before the news started coming out, with the fact that they did want both players. So whether people didn't think they wanted Crosby and they got Hendrickson and then they dumped Crosby because of it, that wasn't it. When he flew, I can't speak to the fact of him flying into D.C. The one thing that they say here is that the only way to fly direct from Vegas to Baltimore is Southwest or Frontier, or one of the other cheaper lines. And I can't speak to that. I know they were going through his medicals, and the thing I keep saying to people is, like, you don't get a second opinion if you hear what you want to hear the first time. I think all the doctors said the same thing, that they're worried about that knee. Now, I guess the question of them pulling out of this deal or agreeing to it, and him not coming in Monday and how bad it looks, I do think there's some egg on their face, but we also feel a little crazy here in Baltimore because I think, like, when you look at a map that says who wants you to win this game or whatever, and if that one state is just that one color, and you know it's just your hometown fans, that's what it feels like here. I think people are upset because Max Crosby would have been a perfect fit in Baltimore. But, yeah, I mean, you're looking at it now, and it looks a little rough, I think, from a national perspective, especially after Crosby spoke.
Man, it is so interesting to hear you say you know that they wanted both of them. Because that, to me, I'm out here going, that's the least believable part of the whole story. First of all, for me, because it's Schefter is the one saying it ahead of time, and then eventually the GM, and I thought, like, of course he's being fed that and trying to defend the team. How could you go to try to sign two $30 million a year pass rushers, right, is my question. So I thought that could not possibly be correct. That's amazing, Jeremy. Does it make you wonder, about their thought process? Because that's a lot of money on one position.
It is, but they've struggled at that spot. And when you go look at the fourth quarter blown leads that the Ravens have had, and we talked about it this year, I think even on your show during the season, like, Harbaugh was great at blowing double-digit leads in the fourth quarter. But basically what was going to happen was Max Crosby's contract was going to be restructured, and he was only going to have a $7 million cap hit this year. They were working on Lamar's restructure, hoping for an extension, and they had to do that to get them to the proper number for Wednesday to be, active for the league. And then on top of it, signing Trey Hendrickson, they finagled some of that money too, and they still could have backloaded. Don't get me wrong, the credit card mentality, you got to pay that price at some point, but it definitely was what they wanted to do. And I can't tell people what to think. I mean, we keep saying all the same things here, and it feels like you're trying to change somebody's thoughts on politics or religion at this point. Trying to tell them, like, I think they had the best intentions in mind. One of the reasons why Eric DeCosta called that press conference that night to kind of say everything that was going on, I know for a fact that they were worried about Crosby's needs, worried about it being a degenerative. Like, maybe he plays this year, but at some point that knee is going to be shot, and they think it's going to be sooner than later.
Jeremy Conn with us at JConn, CONN Sports on Twitter. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog. We're at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino, right down the road, very close to the arena for the NCAA tournament this weekend. Jeremy, what's your broader perspective on how the Ravens are perceived? I feel like a little bit of this was, and I feel like I'm a little bit of an apologist for Baltimore at different times along the way. They had a good rivalry with the Bills in some huge games. But, they're one of these teams almost to the Philadelphia level, I would say, where they just sort of get the benefit of the doubt on their stuff. And so,
I think, it's one of those things, too, where, I don't know where this, I guess I do know where the rivalry kind of started and the mudslinging from some of our fan bases, where it's like we'd hope one would say, hey, go knock off 15 and go get your Super Bowl and let's see something. Because nobody cared about this year's Super Bowl with all that went on. The AFC just looked just dead. But this was something too. Like when you're looking at Baltimore in the front office, they've always done a great job in drafting. They've always, had. I don't think anything's been said about the front office here, like ever. And it's kind of weird. He was getting praised right when this trade happened, and then all of a sudden afterwards, everybody's killing him. It feels weird to see that from a front office perspective. But yeah, look, the rest of the league is going to say what they're going to say. Getting beat up within the AFC North, everybody's talking about it. And I think every talking head out there has an idea of how they feel about the situation. I don't think the Ravens are going to be able to change any of that. I think that's why they're not speaking up and saying anything. They're just hoping this dies down and they just move on like business as usual.
I just wonder if you think from a larger perspective, if the Ravens are a villain. Have they won enough? Do they deserve that? Or are they a team? I mean, New England was this, of course. I guess the more you win, the more you bring this on. Kansas City, although, sometimes there's more to it. Do you think the Ravens are seen that way?
I think they are a villain now with what went on with Crosby. For whatever reason, like Crosby is like if he walked into a room full of cool people, he's the coolest guy. Like there's just something about that aura that he has. And again, would have been a perfect fit here in Baltimore. We were talking about one of the areas, hell, I grew up in it, and it's very white trash, but we were talking about the Max Crosby tuxedo, which would have been the camo purple pants and a Max Crosby jersey, so it would look great from our area, Dundalk over here. But, like, it would have been awesome if he was here, but I still feel like the rest of the league fans of other teams, they're going to hate this team. I don't think that agents are going to shy away from signing with the Ravens or having deals done. I mean, hell, they signed 4 guys right after that happened. And I don't even think teams are going to have an issue dealing with them because they've never had any issues like this before, at least to my knowledge. Something else.
I definitely can see that. I think the day this happened, we were, talking it through, and like, is this going to hurt them in any way? Like, no. If a team needs to do business with them, they're going to do business because they're all in the business of doing business. So it's not, they got a player we want or a draft pick we want, or they want a player of ours for a draft pick, we're calling them. Like, it's not going to interrupt anything. I wouldn't think anyway. Jeremy, in knowing you were going to join us today, it just strikes me like often the theme of the conversation or a thing that comes up every time you're on with us is how similar the experience of being a Bills fan and a Ravens fan is. We keep hitting our head on the same ceiling, and now we've got like the two of the longest tenured coaches in the league fired in the same offseason. So like we're on the same space on the board again in that we're still thought of, we got the franchise quarterback and the contract's got to get reworked and all that, and still trying to be a contending level team and getting, certainly the betting market is telling you these are contending level teams, but it's brand new coach after 9 years and 18 years in the case of Baltimore. It's bizarre to me that we're in that same spot after all the other conversations we've had.
And look, I know people love Harbaugh, and maybe I've made it clear here when I talk to you guys, I am not the least bit of a fan whatsoever. Look, when the Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2012, it was the weakest Super Bowl winner I've ever seen in my lifetime. I mean, they had one of the worst seasons, got hot at the right time, and Flacco goes 11 TDs, 0 picks. So I think there is something. I just remember being on a Pittsburgh station, and we were both going, do we want to win this game and have our coach come back, or do we want to lose and see if he gets fired? Because I think they were ready for a change here in Baltimore, and it'll be interesting to see how Harbaugh deals with the New York media. But there are so many similarities to the two teams here, especially with just not getting over that hump in the postseason and how people perceive them, because they're both MVP players. It's been incredible to watch, and I think everyone's trying to find that spot for each team where it's like, okay, we're missing this. We need another wide receiver. We need to get our pass rush better, and hope that you don't lose other areas of your team. So the Ravens also lost a ton of free agents in that period of time that they couldn't sign with the Crosby thing going on.
A few minutes left with Jeremy Kahn out of Baltimore, 105.7 The Fan. Nice of Jeremy to take time out during the tournament because everybody loves the tournament. People take days off for it. Here's a guy, adding to his workload. What's your? Thank you. What's your latest on Lamar, Jeremy? I mean, last year we've had this conversation too, and I'm sure you've had it many other times. Just like, does he really want to run anymore? What is this? You always have this mysteriousness about his health and missing practice because he's sick all the time. I mean, it's easy. I think I'm a huge fan of his. It's easy anecdotally to have questions about like where this is going with him, but I don't know. Is it unfair to?
No, I don't think it's unfair. I mean, the one thing that fans are kind of concerned about is looking at him signing. Well, I mean, it was a contract restructure and not an extension. The extension would have alleviated a lot of the stress here because I don't know how much, if I've talked about this before, but Lamar holds all the cards here in Baltimore. He's got a no trade clause. He's got a no franchise clause. And so he can kind of run this thing out as much as he wants. Like, he could run it down to the wire next year at the end of the year, and the Ravens are facing an $80 million cap hit or something, and basically decide where he wants to go. Now, I still think he wants to stay here. I think the savvy business side of things is he's waiting for some of these younger quarterbacks to get paid again and then get more than what they're getting. But the longer you wait, I think the tougher it is on the team. And I think that's something the fan base is starting to go, does he really want to be here? Is it about the money, or what is the deal? So I do think, look, Lamar's a special player. He's one of the most amazing guys I've ever watched. I think he wants to be here in Baltimore. But I think his savvy business sense is kind of upsetting some of the fans in this long-term waiting period.
Makes sense.
Especially if, is it right to perceive Harbaugh being out as the organization chose Lamar? Like, was it one or the other?
I don't know. It was one or the other. Like, there were rumors that they had a rift. There were some people that said that Harbaugh lost the locker room, but I guess that's kind of misperceived after what he signed for. It's like Ravens North up there. He signed like 4 former players. Yeah. And when you look at, Lamar and the way that this situation sets up. The other thing I should say about what you were talking about is I almost think Lamar has them on a trial period to see the new coach, to see the new offense and how things look, because he does have so much control over this team. But I still think that there's a lot of holes that this team has to fill. They've got a ton of draft picks now. That, if you heard, they got 2 first-round picks back, and everybody's upset. So, but it should be interesting come draft time to see how they work some things here.
Jeremy, what do you think of the new coach? You think it's a credible, if not exciting, hire? What would you say?
I think so. I mean, look, from all fronts, like Anthony Weaver was a guy that's been here before on the defensive side. He was looking for a head coaching job. And, of course, signs on here to be a defensive coordinator and hope to get a job. He's going to be running Minter's defense. But listening to what the Chargers players said about Minter, I'm really excited. I think it's some fresh blood, something new. And then you bring in Declan Doyle, and the big thing is he hasn't called plays, but he's been in that system to understand what Ben Johnson likes to do. And I think putting Lamar in a system like that is very dangerous. It's almost like Steph Curry would be a great player on any team, but the system they run in Golden State fits him so well. He's so much better there. I think it could kind of be that same thing. Now we're just trying to figure out who all the wide receivers are going to be and if the Ravens are going to get active in free agency there or if we see them draft somebody.
Ravens or Bills next year? The Ravens have probably a clearer path in their division, but I don't know how dramatic that is. I mean, the Bills have New England, but also the Jets and Dolphins could end up being the 2 worst teams in the league. So
yeah.
Who would you put your money on of the 2?
Man, look, it's hard, and I think either one of us are probably going to say our own team. Like, I have confidence in this, what the front office put together. I thought they've had some of the best rosters that you could possibly see in football and still haven't got it done. And it's always going to come down to what happens in January, right? I mean, both of these teams are going to be there barring something catastrophic happening. I mean, the Ravens, I think their win total is 11.5. And looking around the rest of the division, they still have to prove that Joe Burrow can stay healthy and that their defense can stop a nosebleed. Pittsburgh, we don't know who their quarterback is. And Cleveland, we're still waiting. They've got a good roster, but figuring out who their quarterback is. So I think the Ravens have I don't want to say a shoe-in for the playoffs, but they have a nice run there. We'll see how the battle goes out with Buffalo and New England. But I would lean Ravens here at this point. But, again, I think we both would pick our teams.
It'll be so different without John Harbaugh, without Mike Tomlin. I mean, we've talked Ravens and Bills here with McDermott. But Harbaugh and Tomlin, I mean, they almost coached, if they didn't coach against each other more than any other 2 coaches. Like, that was sort of almost 20 years of that rivalry.
It's crazy, yeah. It's like looking at these 2 teams and having the same coach and that the front office has given them a lot of leeway. I think it says a lot about Bisciotti finally moving on from somebody like Harbaugh with the track record. I mean, look, the regular seasons were great, but we all can talk about it. The postseason, they're failures.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. The Ravens are in Buffalo again this year. I like it for Week 3 Sunday night. Yes, I get into the schedule a little bit. It's very hard to be right. It's really pointless to try. But the Bills have a new stadium, and I'm thinking, Week 2, do they open it? Week 3? How about Week 3? A couple of road games. They have 9 road games this year. Then bring on Baltimore for a reprise of last year, 41-40 in Week 1. I'm signing up for that for sure, if we get it.
I'm excited to see what DJ Moore looks like up there.
Me too. He'd better mean a lot to this.
They paid a lot. Yeah.
They're paying a lot.
That was my thing. They overpaid, but again, is it an overpay if the guy works out? So that's what we wait to see. He can clearly play as he's getting in the latter stage of his career, but I think Josh just needs a guy that's going to catch the ball, right?
And get down the field, doing that.
Yes.
And the receiver market mostly, you look at the trade, the Waddle trade. Like I didn't like what the Bills paid for DJ Moore, and then the Waddle trade happened. I'm like, and I like Waddle more as a player, but not enough to pay that.
Yeah,
it was you just made the Bills trade look like a little more palatable considering what the marketplace was telling you. Like usually, if you're getting the inheriting a big contract, that you don't have to pay the premium asset, but in both cases, you did.
Yeah, after watching what Miami did, I was reading something that Tutu Atwell is now their number 1 wide receiver. Something just feels off about that. So good luck to Malik Willis in Miami, I guess.
My dynasty shares will not take offense. I'm still hanging on to Tutu Atwell hope, believe it or not. We'll still, just like that Milwaukee bet, we'll remember picking him over Puka when Puka was a rookie in Vegas at a draft for a while.
God.
Who knew?
All right. Well, good luck the rest of the day and the rest of the weekend and all through the tournament, Jeremy, and really nice catching up with you.
Yes.
Absolutely, guys. Anytime.
Thank you. Jeremy Kahn, 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore. Duke within 4. Everybody makes a run, even Duke.
Right.
5 minutes-ish into the second half, Sienna timeout. It was what was the lead at half, 11?
Yeah.
And they've thrown some bricks up, Sienna, it appears.
Cut into the lead.
Very much so. Duke's got to be pretty solid favorite on the live line right now. But we wouldn't know because Sienna is in New York State. We're at a casino, and we still wouldn't know. No way to find out. Second game in Buffalo is Michigan State hosting North Dakota State. That's scheduled to tip in about 2 minutes. 803-0550. The Sabres are in San Jose tonight. We'll talk about them, well, along the way, but also with Paul Hamilton at 6. Sabres versus Bills right now. Championship chances, odds. I mean, this is sometimes ridiculous, but right now, maybe it's not. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. This is WGR.
Buffalo Sabres continuing their West Coast road trip tonight. They'll take on the San Jose Sharks. Notes from the pregame skate, Alex Tuch taking part after missing Tuesday's game with illness. Alex Lyon with his own net. That's an indication he will start tonight against San Jose. Face-off set for 10 o'clock. 10 other games around the NHL tonight. Boston taking on Winnipeg. Montreal squaring off with Detroit. Ottawa against the Islanders. Columbus against the Rangers. Tampa Bay taking on Seattle. In football, according to ESPN, the NFL looking into the potential of replacement refs if a CBA cannot be reached in time with the officials, the current CBA expiring in May. College hoops NCAA tournament action, the round of 64 underway now, as we have ourselves a major upset. 12-seed High Point taking on fifth seed Wisconsin, 83-82. Top seed Duke is still dancing with some danger. However, a much improved second half for the Blue Devils. They're trailing by 6 against 16 seed Sienna. Right now, the Saints holding a 53-49 lead. Other scores that are going on right now, the game in Buffalo, Michigan State and North Dakota State. It's North Dakota State up 8-5 with about 16:26 left in the first half. Vanderbilt up 10 on McNeese, 45-35. That one in the second half, just a couple minutes in. And then a game just a couple minutes underway already. Arkansas up 9-0 against Hawaii. Those are your sports headlines, brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Derek Kramer for WGR.
The Denver Broncos being able to get him? This is the same Denver Broncos team that was the number 1 seed. Same Denver Broncos team that had 68 sacks, 4 shy of an all-time record by the Chicago Bears in 1984. Same Denver Broncos team that would have been in the Super Bowl if Bo Nix hadn't gone down. And now you let them get Jalen Waddle? That's how I'm looking at this. Buffalo and Denver are 2 elite teams in the AFC, and I think you let the other team get Jalen Waddle instead of getting him yourself. They were talking before the trading deadline about getting Waddle. I consider Waddle better than DJ Moore. I know DJ Moore got a greater upside, but I think I'm looking at Jalen Waddle, and I'm saying, as electrifying as that brother can be when healthy, he's somebody that should have been in Buffalo.
Stephen A. Smith. Interesting to hear him talk and sound like maybe there's something there he actually thinks. And it's not just all made up. I mean, I think he's better than DJ Moore. Okay, well, a lot of people do. You can't assume somebody doesn't believe that if they say it.
Right.
Rare to hear him say something that he might actually believe.
I agree.
Sienna and Duke. Sienna up 4. I saw a stat during before the last time out. I'm not sure this has changed, but it's amazing. I wonder how rare this is. They've not made a substitution.
Really?
Yes. Unless they just did during a break. They have not used anybody from their bench.
And that must be their MO. I wouldn't think you get to the tournament and suddenly start doing that. Like, right, if you go 8 deep, you're into it, or whatever, even deeper than that.
Wow. Can you beat Merrimack with 8 deep or 10 or 12? Sure.
Right.
But for Duke,
I need all my
we're
best
just playing
guys.
we're just playing. McNamara's just playing his 5.
Get your sleep, guys. You're gonna need your.
The adrenaline's got to be there. Will they wear out?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know anything about sort of their habits, but they did show now Duke within 1 point game. They did show the graphic out of the last time out that Sienna had not made a sub.
All right, and we're what are we? 10 minutes into the second half?
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. Wow, that is hardcore.
Any thoughts on takeaways from Jeremy Kahn on Crosby? The Bills were supposed to be in on him too. The Bills are always in on everybody.
I feel like we've talked to him enough times. I want to trust him. He's going to come on our show and tell us they really wanted to do this. The numbers, I guess, if you can lower the one contract to make it work for a year, your commitment maybe to Hendricks is maybe going to be that long. I don't know. It's amazing to me that they would have tried to do that. And as much as you could say, well, we've been bad, we know this has hurt us, so we're going to double up. I just think it would have been like the Bills need edge help. if they traded for Crosby and didn't back out of it and then signed Trey Hendrickson on top of it, I think we're outside Brandon Beat's house. I mean, not that we know where he lives, but you know what I mean? Like, I think we're like, what are you doing?
Really?
Who's gonna play receiver for you? What you can't get two of these guys. Get one of each. We need a big name receiver and a big name pass rusher. Get one of each. Don't get two guys. I don't know. It's like, it would make me question. That's why I asked him, like, does it shake your faith in the organization at all? Like, that they wanted to do that? Because that just seems, I don't know, it seems a little reckless to me. Maybe even a lot reckless. Just why I couldn't believe it as an explanation when Schefter said it, and then the GM
said Crosby thought or Hendrickson thought actually that they would play together.
That they wanted to have both of them play there. Yeah, I mean, I'm standing down on being skeptical about it. I believe Jeremy going to come on our show and tell us that. It just blows my mind. It's the kind of thing that would make me worry about, like, what are you doing over there? What kind of team are you trying to build? Like, you'll be great at this one thing, but, man, I don't know. There's just a lot of assets to pour into one thing. So I wouldn't have liked the Bills to do that. One or the other, yes.
What about in a vacuum, though? Like, for the Bills to have done it, I think you're saying that would preclude DJ Moore, or a bigger receiver,
right.
any sort of bigger
right.
receiver.
I'm assuming
gap.
that's it. Those are my big moves in an off season, and I just think that's too much in one bucket.
Are you saying, though, also that it wouldn't have been popular?
No. Oh, no.
Like, who's at his house?
No.
You're at his house.
I'm at his house. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you should. Good job calling me on that. No, a lot of people would have loved it, and they would have hated me because I'd have been going, what are you doing? Yeah, two of these guys is too much. So that's, for me, the walking off point of being skeptical about the explanation was that I couldn't believe an organization would really willfully choose to do that. I just think that seems nutty to me. So no, you're right, Bill. I think fans would be like, "Oh, we're gonna murder you," and then the games are gonna start, and the quarterback's gonna get rid of the ball in 2 seconds, and we got
didn't matter.
Pass rush win rate has been excellent. Great, 3 cheers for that.
Yeah, the success rate of edge rusher.
Yeah, I think it would have been a terrible idea. But no, I think it probably would have been wildly popular because those guys are super famous. And, we all know the Bills can't get Patrick Mahomes on the ground. So, that's their big failing. And so, yeah, I think it probably would have gone over great, and I would have been in real trouble because I would have hated it.
You would not have been allowed in to the Buffalo Creek Casino.
Right.
They would have said, "Oh no, here's that guy."
Why do you got to be so? Everybody's happy. Why do you got to be so negative? I'm sorry. I think it's just kind of an insane idea.
I love
both of those guys.
I love when negative is brought up. Who was I listening to recently? Maybe it was Jeremy and Joe talking, because I do listen to Jeremy and Joe, so it very easily could have been them. But some reference to being negative, and it's never the right point. Negative is irrelevant. Positive, negative, irrelevant. Completely irrelevant concepts for anybody doing this job that cares, I don't know about Stephen A. Smith, but that cares about it in a real way.
Yeah.
Completely irrelevant. There's no point. The negative is maybe the result. If you're criticizing a move, well, okay, then you're being negative. Yeah, thanks. I know. I get it. That's kind of what comes with being critical. That's the same thing. But it sounds, when you're accused of it, it's like negative is, people think it's like you're objective. And it's never that. It's never positive or negative. It's trying to be right and be honest. And, all right, so, yeah, sometimes negative, though, it's like the worst criticism because it's not at all what it's about, like when you're trying to make an argument.
Yeah,
negative is not, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, honesty is absolutely it. I mean, I think even I don't think we exactly went hard at the Bradley Chubb signing, but I know it happened right. We found out about it late in a segment, and you asked me is he good? Like, not. I don't know. I don't think so. Not really. I don't know. It's like,
no, you said no.
No. Okay. Right. Sorry. I see. Well, you know what? I'm hedging because I know because I got smacked around for that. Like, what do you want? Like, if you want me to just say I love everything they do, then you got the wrong guy. You got the wrong show. I'm going to be honest with you, and I think he's a good player that will help them? Some, yeah, but is he Max Crosby? Is he Trey Hendrickson? I don't think so. We're going to hear a lot about he's a better all-around player than those guys who play the – okay.
Is he?
I don't – yeah, I think three-down player, but I'm sorry, I don't need help stopping the run. What I need help doing is kicking the quarterback's ass. And I don't know if he's going to do – he's not – I don't expect him to do that on an elite level. He'll get 8 sacks. Good.
Is somebody that goes 25-25 a better all-around player than, like, Aaron Judge? Maybe, right. But who cares?
Right.
Who's worth more?
Right.
I don't care if
Yeah.
Max Crosby isn't an all-around player.
Yeah.
What he's going to do, if he's right, is really important. And I should be able to find someone else who can do the other stuff.
Yeah.
803-0550, Duke, the number 1 team in the nation in the tournament, down 1 with 5:46 left. You're either watching that already or you don't care about it.
Pretty
and
much.
Then here I am telling you. Maybe there's something, driving, maybe you do care. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
We will talk to Paul, but not until 6. Get into some more Sabre stuff here. Been having a lot of fun with them. And, these are kind of like the evergreen topics and questions when it comes to the Sabres. I wonder what, actually, let me stop there. What the big question you have as a fan is about what's going to happen here. Is there a player? Is it a goalie thing? Is it Lindy? Is it something? There's no more trade potential, right? We're past that.
Yep.
So just what? I don't want to say what are you worried about because it's such a positive vibe with them already, for this year. But certainly open to conversations in that vein. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog again. Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Back after this on WGR.
We've been living in sin so long, all the feels are gone. Fella stopped me on the street last night, said everything's alright. Roller coaster, make it through the day upright. It seems your meal ticket is gone, but life goes on. I could never imagine something better. Yeah, right. Now you're cooking on high heat in the middle of the street. Roller coaster, take me to a better time. Let's go! easily forget how to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you over and over again. You gotta get both hands around it and make your own plans. Roller coaster, it's taking over. It's about time. To all choose your timeline with the roller coaster of life. Roller coaster. I want to go down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole of life. And now it's about to leave. Oh, roller coaster.
Back to Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Great sports day. Top 7. I wasn't sure I wanted top 5. I thought top 10 was too conservative. Top 7 sports day. Should we iron that out? Day 1 of the tournament. The real day 1 of the tournament. Sorry to the play-in teams.
Yeah.
One of which is here to play tonight. Howard against Michigan. Right now, Michigan State up 11. 12 minutes to go first half. Tom Izzo and the Spartans in town. We sort of found a little bit of a window here at the casino between the Michigan teams. Like the Spartans are over there now, all their fans. I'm sure there are thousands. And then Wolverines tonight. Maybe they'd be over there too. You know, you're traveling to today. You want to go to all of it, I think.
Just going and hating on Michigan State if you are a Michigan fan, and vice versa if you're a State fan.
Yeah.
I think, it's such a unique day in that it is for, I think, the majority of sports fans who don't aggressively find out. Plenty of people do. Our regular producer, Zach Jones, is one of them. Like, ask him almost anything about this tournament. He's got some info about it. So people are still into it like that. But the thing that makes this day and tomorrow, to an extent, although, Thursday is always first, it's just sort of a re-entry point, and you're suddenly caring about people you didn't know, you didn't know any of their names 5 hours ago. But, like, you're in a pool, you're, whatever, you got a parlay, or you're just watching, and it's compelling as hell that a 16 is, well, I don't know, they're down two.
4 minutes.
4 minutes to go against number one here, Duke, number one in the whole tournament, too. And you get into that. Like, other big sporting events, the Super Bowl, lots of casuals show up for football, but I mean, most football fans are there and they have strong opinions about the players on either side,
sure.
the organizations, all that. This is all just sort of by the seat of your pants. Again, for most fans, I think. Again, not to discount the people who are really into college basketball and really follow it. I know they're out there too, but just what makes the tournament what it is everyone sort of showing up and like, oh, let me get up to speed. Like, who's this big guy on Marshall? Whatever. Like, you just don't know anything. You're a blank canvas, and the tournament sort of just paints you as you're watching. It's just like, oh, look, suddenly who's Bryce Drew 3 hours ago?
Bryce Drew?
Right? Like, just, wow.
Listen to this.
Right?
Valparaiso.
It just gives you, like, you care about something that, again, earlier in the day you had no real knowledge of. And there are very few things in life, forget about just sports, that can do that. Just, like, flip a switch and you're invested.
I get that way about fireworks.
Really? Really?
Yes.
How do you mean?
The fireworks start like, interesting. They keep going, like, oh, green. And then I really get, like, this is going to be good.
You're an una.
No,
You're an
it's
una.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a great point. It's totally right. I'm the same. I've many great memories of going to these days and just sort of the innocence of getting, I mean, there's sort of a push-off you have to do in the first place with big college sports. But then you sit down over there and you see Tom Izzo, and you're like, all right. And if they get pushed, that's awesome. Like, you just, right. It's so easy. You're innocently sort of sucked in to the underdog, not knowing anything about their coach could be the world's worst human being. I don't know.
Right.
North Dakota State. Let's go. I mean, he's probably not. That's saying a lot, right?
Right.
But it's so easy to get sucked into it. And also, the moment passes, and a month from now, whatever.
Right.
It's just like, who won last year? I mean, well, I know Carlin won last year, but
right.
Yeah.
Right.
65-61 Duke. I'm not sure if Sienna has made a substitution yet, but it's starting to look tough.
They could use to make a basket, I can tell you that.
I mean, great effort.
They were up by
not over yet.
They were up by 13 at one point.
Yeah, first half.
Yeah.
65-61 Duke in the lead. About 3 minutes to go. Michigan State leading next door. Arkansas up big on Hawaii mid-first half, 26-9. And Vanderbilt in a battle with McNeese. That's how we say that. McNeese. My late great friend Rick Woodson from Louisiana.
This is authoritative. It is McNeese.
It's not McNeese. It's McNeese. That's how you'd say it if you lived there. Which we don't.
So
make
McNeese.
A choice.
Okay.
McNeese. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog, Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Welcome to our show. We'll be right back after the update here on WGR.
The Buffalo Sabres continuing their West Coast road trip tonight, taking on the San Jose Sharks. At Buffalo's pregame skate, Alex Tuck took part after missing Tuesday's game due to illness. Alex lying in his own net during the pregame skate, an indicator that he will start tonight against San Jose. Face-off for Sabres and Sharks set for 10 o'clock. Pregame will get started at 9 p.m. here on WGR. Around the NHL, 10 other games around the league. Several can affect the Sabres tonight. Boston hosting Winnipeg. Montreal taking on division rival Detroit. Ottawa taking on the Islanders. Columbus at home against the Rangers. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay facing Seattle. To football, according to ESPN, the NFL is looking into the potential of replacement referees if a CBA cannot be reached with the officials. That expires in May. NCAA tournament action today in college hoops. The round of 64 underway. Buffalo in the midst of hosting 4 games. And with the latest, we go back to KeyBank Center and Brian Koziel.
Hey, Derek, we're in the first half of game number 2 right now. 3-seed Michigan State, 14-seed North Dakota State, and it's Michigan State leading right now 33-18. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Carson Cooper for Michigan State leading the way with 9 points for Tom Izzo's club. The crowd has really filled in nicely here. I would say close to capacity at KeyBank Center. Earlier this afternoon, we saw Louisville advance to the second round as they held on to beat South Florida 83-79. So they'll get the winner of this Michigan State-North Dakota game. The winners will face on Saturday. Later tonight, 2 more games, including top seed Michigan. They take on 16-seeded Howard. That game is scheduled for just after 7 o'clock. And then the 8-9 matchup is Georgia and St. Louis. We'll continue to keep you updated, again, all throughout the afternoon. But right now, Michigan State leads North Dakota State 33-18 with about 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Brian Koziel reporting courtside here at KeyBank Center. Derek, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Scores from the rest of the round so far. Duke escapes calamity. They end up currently up on Sienna with 10 seconds left. Their 69-65 lead. The number 1 overall seed looks like they're going to escape disaster right away in this. However, an upset did happen earlier today. 12-seed High Point, 83-82 over Wisconsin. The other scores going on right now, Arkansas up 38-26 on Hawaii, and Vanderbilt up 63-58 on McNeese. This update's brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet. With you for the extra mile since 1935, I'm Derek Kramer. You're listening to WGR.
Can everyone say hi to my friend? Hello, I'm
Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
When I'm with friends, I like to have fun. I like to sing, dance, pretend, and kazoo.
It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog. It's Mike Schopp and the Bulldog.
I just wanted to say thanks. I'm glad you came along, partner.
On WGR, Sports Radio 550.
Don't run, jump, or dance while playing the kazoo. Thanks.
Are we up? All right. It's not going to happen for Sienna.
Six point lead. Final seconds. Yeah, Duke is up.
Good job, good effort.
Yep.
Made it interesting. They were 27.5-point dogs. And our new friend Tony will be happy.
They're out.
Because one more New York team is out.
Right.
That opens up more potential here at Seneca Buffalo Creek. I never thought about that from his standpoint before. Like, I don't want Sienna. I'm glad he said it on the air. Right. He said it to us off the air.
Me too.
And I'm glad he said it on the air. Like, that's not good for me.
I didn't know if it was going to come out on the air. Yeah.
Good for him. Do you have an all-time favorite basketball game?
Oh, boy. All-time favorite basketball game.
Well, I'll give you a second.
Don't I have to I mean, I'm 14, 13, Bird and Magic, Indiana State, Michigan State. Like, if I'm, not a toddler for that.
You're not.
I mean, I remember watching it. I mean, I can't don't remember. I don't think it was a nail biter.
Nope. I think it might have been 11.
It was a really it was a lot of hype and a very famous game. So like that might be one.
Were you into them before?
No. No.
When would you ever have seen Indiana State?
Right. No.
Play anybody?
It was just reading, reading the paper and hearing about this guy at Indiana State, and I became a big Bird fan when he got to Boston. And I guess that table was set in the tournament, with him in the tournament, because Indiana State, they made the finals, so they obviously went on a run in the tournament, behind him, and that got your attention. It might be one of the first small town stories. Just before the movie Hoosiers. But it worked for me, I guess. So I kind of became attached to him. Not that I had anything against Magic Johnson, but Michigan State's a big famous school. So Bird became very compelling. That and North Carolina, Georgetown.
82
is also. I remember watching that. And
I was pissed,
being really, really into that. I don't remember feeling one way or the other. I
didn't want I wanted Georgetown.
Yeah, I don't think I did. Most of the Big East schools then were kind of mean and they were some version of the Detroit Pistons.
Yep.
And so I wasn't always crazy about that.
Big East.
Yes. So I'm sure, and I liked Dean Smith and Carolina, the colors even. I liked Carolina then.
Things haven't been the same for the Big East since New Mexico State joined.
Yeah.
Really, it's kind of all scrambled now.
Takes a lot out of it, yeah.
But, for some reason I got into Georgetown. It's amazing. Sometimes sports is serendipitous, where Bird and Magic, even just their names. Magic is a nickname, but even just Bird and Magic.
Right.
And here are two guys from completely different worlds lined up, and they would bring out an all-time classic rivalry between themselves and teams. It was not always friendly.
Right.
10, 15 years of it. And how great is that? How much less famous, maybe? I'm asking this one. I'm not prepared to tell you. How much less famous is one without the other?
Oh.
If Magic doesn't have Bird they just kill it, well, that's kind of what Jordan was. Who was Ewing? It just really wasn't.
Yeah.
He didn't have an equal.
Yeah.
Bird and Magic were close enough.
Yeah.
And they would meet in the finals.
It's so interesting to think about now. You asked me that question, out of nowhere. You have a favorite basketball game, and
Sorry.
it's fine. I got that. That's an easy answer. I remember it, but I think sort of tailing on what you just said, if they both don't go on to have the careers they had and the rivalry that they had, you asked me that question. And
you would never think of that answer.
Right. Bird gets to the NBA and it's just sort of he's a guy, he's a sixth man, whatever. He's not one of the greatest players who ever lived. And so one or the other is not that. Yeah, that's not my answer then. What's the favorite basketball game ever? I'm not thinking about Indiana State and Michigan State from 1979.
No.
But
because it's just a game.
But then. The fact that I remember watching it and being into the Bird story, and then they had these amazing careers, it's an easy card to pull. What's your favorite basketball game? That one. It was the beginning of a rivalry that elevated the entire sport out of decades of not irrelevance exactly, but it put it on track to become what it is now. And that started in college. And I watched it as a teenager. That's pretty good.
82 is my first memory. I think I watched 81, Indiana, Carolina. That was the day Reagan was shot.
Oh.
I think. It was the same day. And I think it was, but it didn't mean anything to me. 82 meant, I was into that. I was in everything. So, of course, I would have cared about it. Wanted Georgetown. It really is awesome to think about. And it's also cool how it parallels with the NBA mostly. Both on CBS in the 80s. I know it's ancient history, right? But 82.
CBS. Is that a streaming
At least there is
service?
a CBS.
What is that?
82 is Carolina, Georgetown. That's Jordan. That's Fred Brown. Throws the ball to Worthy at center court. Like, just why?
Yep.
That's that game. 83 is
downtown
NC State.
Freddie Brown.
If you have the name Fred Brown, you have to be downtown.
That's right. And you better make some shots from downtown. Anyway, go ahead.
You better.
Yep.
For only 2 points.
Right. Back then. Right.
Yeah. 83 is NC State, which was awesome.
Yep.
I mean, the 30 for 30 on that team, I could watch it every day, I think. I'd still like it. That was the best. 84 was not a great game. Georgetown, Houston. 85, though, is Villanova.
Right.
And that's one of
Rolly Massimino.
That's one of 5 sporting events in my life that my dad got into.
I'm just
throwing out names.
I was just
it's good. You're right.
Yeah.
Throw it out there.
Do I have it? Okay, I remember that.
Haven't said this name in decades.
Right.
I'm saying it now.
Right.
I still got it.
Yeah.
That's one of 5 sporting events my dad liked that I watched with him.
85 Villanova.
85 Villanova. Yeah. And it's like a 9 o'clock tip or something back then, right?
Yeah.
Or it still is, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That game is late usually, yes.
But we watched that game, Villanova, Georgetown. And then 87 is Keith Smart.
Yeah, I don't know what 86 is.
Louisville, Duke. 87 is Keith Smart. And I wanted Syracuse to win. I really didn't know Syracuse like some of my friends
even
would
though
have.
you're even though despite your previous affiliation with Georgetown, you were on Syracuse.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't even mind that Georgetown lost to Villanova. That was great.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that. You had St. John's in the Final Four too in 85.
This is where I say
Lou
Carnesecca.
You say it loud and proud.
Lou Carnesecca.
Louis Carnesecca sweaters.
This is good to scratch this itch.
Yes,
like
today, if it's not going to happen today, it's never going to happen.
Take the manhole cover off the basketball memories and see what's in there. Right? Like, what is still in there? Well, Freddie Brown is in there. Right?
Exactly what I'm doing.
Bird and Magic are in there. Carnesecca, Massimino. Okay, right. I mean, these are not deep cuts. These are the songs you hear on the radio every day from that era. Like those are big famous names.
Somebody, who was it? Was it Andrew? I responded to a tweet the other day about somebody's outfit as a college coach. Somebody's look.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Guy Lewis, who was the Houston coach.
Ooh, see, I don't have that.
Phi Slamma Jamma is Guy Lewis.
Wow. Right.
And he wore a red and white checkered jacket and with white hair. Like he had a look.
Right.
And that's who I thought of. Whoever it was, I'm not sure if it was a question or just a comment, but I tweeted about Guy Lewis. And somebody mentioned Carnesecca to me after that. The sweaters.
Yeah.
I don't know the current state of college coach fashion.
Yeah, no, me either. I can't tell you who stands
Probably
out.
everybody wears a quarter zip, maybe now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, probably. That's acceptable now. You don't have to go
That's the look.
Full suit anymore. Right.
But you don't wear your team colors with a checkerboard pattern or plaid or anything. That's not in style anymore.
Coach might be more of a rarity, I think. Yeah.
I'd love to see it. Huggins was a guy who would wear sweaters.
Huggins.
Bob Huggins. I saw him here.
Yeah.
1 year, West Virginia.
West Virginia, right? Yeah. After he had been in
Cincinnati.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
We're at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. The tournament's next door, basically. Michigan State leading by 20. Late first half over North Dakota State. Game 3 is a 7-10 tip, Michigan and Howard. Hopefully it'll be closer, but who knows. And then late you've got Georgia and St. Louis, tentative start time, 9:45, so it's a late night.
Yeah.
Behind us, so we're in a position here in the casino where we can't see any basketball. We did get to kind of watch Sienna Duke, which is over.
The end. Yeah.
Saw the end. Duke won by 6. Sienna covered easily. Right behind us is a wall of TVs.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back there during the last break, and ESPN was on. Mina Kimes was on.
I saw a bit of that show during the last break as well.
And I couldn't hear her talking, but it had on the screen Mina's, what was it? Was it sleeper team? Underdog team? Like dark horse? Something to that effect. Let's say dark horse.
Sabres?
NFL.
Sorry.
The Sabres are not a dark horse anymore.
I know, but Mina Kimes talking about the Sabres on ESPN
would be great.
Would be mind-boggling. Anyway, go ahead.
But I want to hear her say, they should win it.
Right.
That's what I want. That's what I want from Mina Kimes if it's hockey. Or anybody. That's not even a point about her.
Right.
Just Go get it. First place. What's not? Why not?
So
why not us?
NFL dark horse from Mina Kimes.
NFL dark horse from Mina Kimes in 2026. I don't expect you to guess hers necessarily. Who might yours be? Do we have to draw a line by their record last year? Because just a heads up, Kansas City was 6-11.
All right.
So that's cheap.
Yeah, they don't.
Don't tell me that's your dark horse.
No, they don't get dark horse status. And like Jacksonville shouldn't get to be dark horse. Like I like them a lot. They were, I think,
13-4.
Last in reverse AFC power rankings on Tuesday.
Number 1.
The first time I've ever gotten that purposefully correct. Dark horse.
Not that many teams can really count.
Right.
Let me ask you a couple.
Could Cincinnati be a dark horse?
Well, that was hers.
Okay.
Is that fair? 6-11. I mean, when were they even in the playoffs last? The Bills year?
I think they've missed the last 2
Last
years.
3?
Last 3, is it even?
Yes, they've missed the last 3.
Okay, I think they qualify then.
Their last playoff win was the game here.
Holy
they lost the next week, and they have not been back.
Wow.
9-8, 6-11. They have to count. They still seem a little bit too chalky for this.
Yeah, I know.
Like if it's, never mind. Another antiquated reference I was going to make. Enough of that. Forget it.
I think it's acceptable. I think they are. I think they are pretty. All right, I'll just do it how I think about it. Is order going to be restored? Are Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City going to be back on top of the conference? Like that's how. If I were lying in bed thinking about the next day's show, thinking about a subject, whatever, like I might think of that as an idea to walk off talking about and see what happens. And I think I would mention Cincinnati, but kind of in a don't forget about them kind of way. I don't think it's not the same to me as them being out of it for 3 years now sort of removes them from that top, the Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City tier, if you will. And I know that New England and Denver and maybe the Chargers you want to tell are challenging to be on that tier. But of the kingpin AFC teams, I don't think of Cincinnati the same way I do Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City. So what am I saying by saying that? I think dark horse, I think I can live with it. I don't think it's inappropriate.
Egregious?
Yeah.
You think it's all right?
Yeah. I mean, you'd like it to be more of a team that nobody would be thinking about, and the Bengals aren't that either because of the quarterback and the receivers. And no, I think it works though. I would not accept a Baltimore or a Kansas City, a team one down year. Or, the Bills didn't even win their division last year. They're a dark horse. Get out of here.
No, they're definitely not.
Right. I think Cincinnati works.
We're at a casino, although I don't know this answer. It's probably on an app or something, though. Can you bet these yet? Futures, division futures for next year? The bet you can?
Yeah.
All right, let's look this up.
I'm almost sure
the 8-teamer that we like.
I think the last time I talked to Sam without you, this came up. I think
he'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah, he's in Vegas.
While you're looking this up, let me tell you from last night. I reached out to him because I was kind of on my own for a little bit, and I was curious about his opinion on Miami of Ohio. So I asked him. They're 7-point underdogs last night. I asked him for his opinion on that game, SMU and Miami of Ohio. I felt like Miami would have the crowd in Dayton, but they're 7-point dog. They're 30-1. So I said to Sam, he was on it. He was just taking off for Las Vegas. What do you think? And he said, I have no idea what to do with that game. He did not have a position on Miami of Ohio and SMU. I said, well, I've got Ohio roots. He's like, hammer it. Just, money line. It happened to be, so I set out to do that. They won,
Okay.
On the money line, they were plus 280. So I sat down after he said that, you're right. He's not going to tell me not to do it. It's my money. So I sat down to bet Miami of Ohio, and it was one of those days where the app thought I was in Canada.
Oh.
It did not accept the bet because of my location. So I'm like, well, I've not only made a decision to do this, but I've had the connection with Sam here. So I did make the move to walk back into my yard. Usually I go back far enough.
Backyard betting.
Backyard betting. You go back far enough, then you're in America.
It knows you're in America, yeah.
Because I'm right on the river.
Further away
so
from
I
the
have
water.
to.
Yeah.
I go about halfway back. It's cold, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm like in a t-shirt. I didn't put a coat on to go do this. I don't know what that says, but I went about halfway back, and it still didn't give it to me, and I gave up. Like, it's not my night. Maybe they'll lose anyway.
That's amazing.
I mean, it's a plus 280 bet.
Yeah.
They're probably going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
So I just gave up, and they won. What would be
pretty comfortably too? All right, it was.
Yeah, I guess.
Every time
I don't want to know.
Every time I looked at it, they
Too
were
soon.
up by 8 or 10. I felt like.
I don't want to know.
I didn't see it all the way to the garage, so I don't know what the final was. But
I wanted 20 to win 72 or whatever that was. Didn't get it.
Yeah.
So that happens. Come here, place your bets. Don't have to worry about it. This is America.
Right. Definitively. Right.
All right. So my
What
question was.
Yeah. What do you want to know? Because I got division odds.
Yep. I want a 3-team parlay. I want to find out what it pays. 2 different 3-team parlays. Okay?
All right.
I'll say the team. You tell me the number.
Well, all right. Sure.
Bills.
Bills are minus 145.
All right. That's interesting in itself.
You want
Bills.
them? Okay.
You're not actually going to place these.
No, I'm just going to do it to tell you what the odds are. Right?
Yeah.
I'll manage not.
Ravens.
Ravens are minus 135.
Chiefs.
Get to the Chiefs here. Plus 180.
Plus 180.
Yeah. So 10 pays you 71.88. 71.58.
Right. 7-1. All right. Erase it.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
I thought this was going to happen. New England?
New England is plus 145. Bills were minus 145. Plus 145.
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh is plus 600.
Denver?
Denver plus 200. $10, 644.
Almost 10x. $10. So this goes back to something you said about 10 minutes ago, which is like, what's a dark horse and,
right,
expectations for this year. $10 on the second place teams in the East and North and the third in the West pays you $70. $10 on the division winners pays you $670.
640, but yeah.
640.
Yeah.
So your dark horses this year are last year's winners. Not really dark horses. That's not the Jets we're talking about.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean,
New England isn't a dark horse.
That's right. But New England is, they're plus money, and not just close to the line. Plus they're plus the same number the Bills are minus 145.
That's a gap.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So how about that? I mean, we've been living in a world where those 3 divisions at least have been super chalky. Last year that got tipped. This year, right now, nobody cares that last year happened.
Yep. I'm maybe I should keep that in mind because I think the last few times it's come up, like I'm kind of shook by the Bills off season so far, right? And it's not all because the news conferences were weird or anything, but like the decision making process, I feel like being really, my senses really worked Pagula over through the course of the season to end up where they ended up. And that concerns me. It doesn't have to mean anything about how Bean does the job. It just sort of, I don't know, it just concerns me. New coach, new defense. Like, this is a lot that I think, I'm sort of nervous about. It was interesting talking to Jeremy Kahn last hour because Baltimore's a new coach. A lot of new players. I mean, they lost a lot of guys just in the 48 hours or so. They were fiddling around with Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson. They lost guys. The center left and the tight end. But he's like, I'm right there. I think they're going to be awesome again. And maybe I'm just too close to the Bills. Maybe I'm overreacting. It still is the news conferences. The fact that I even got to mention them might tell you that is sort of like scratching at me as I try to talk about them and think about them. But I'm nervous about them. Like, I'm just not assuming that Josh Allen just fixes everything no matter what all the time. And I feel like this is going to be a harder year with the way they're set up right now.
I asked Jeremy toward the end about the Bills and the Ravens, and he said, well, you guys would probably say the Bills, I'd say the Ravens, no matter, because those are our teams. I'm thinking, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like when I go on with Mike Dempsey, and, he's waiting for a prediction or any show. They're waiting for your kind of, I think they think you're there to rep the Bills, and sometimes I would. Again, I go on Andrew's show. You've done that a lot on the FanDuel show, and I feel like every time I'm on, I don't like him. Whatever game it is he's talking about, I feel like I don't know. I don't think I'd lay the 8.
It is a little bit of a lesson in being so close to something. Like, there's value in knowing the inner workings and every little move that gets made and how did it get made and the decision-making process, all that stuff, right? I'm however far away we are from Baltimore. We talk to Jeremy Kahn a few times a year. I'm inclined to look at them and go, yeah, they got Lamar Jackson, they'll be fine.
But you wouldn't
but
necessarily
yet in Buffalo,
do that
I can't bring myself to do that because I'm too worried about who's going to play right defensive end or something.
You probably should.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
You'd be right.
I probably should get over that. But I don't know. I'm a little shook about the Bills.
They've been so good.
Yeah.
803-0550 to call us. We're at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog. This is WGR.
take on the San Jose Sharks. Pre-game skate notes, Alex Tuck took part after missing Tuesday's game with an illness. Alex Lyon had his own net in practice, an indication that he will start against San Jose. Face-off for Sabres and Sharks set for 10 o'clock tonight. You'll be able to hear that on WGR. Around the NHL, 10 other games around the league tonight, several of which can affect the Sabres and the Eastern Conference playoff race. Boston hosting Winnipeg, Montreal and Detroit squaring off with each other. Ottawa taking on the New York Islanders, Columbus hosting the New York Rangers, while Tampa Bay is in Seattle taking on the Kraken. College hoops, NCAA tournament action today. The round is 64. Buffalo hosting 4 games today, as right now we're still looking at the second of the 4. Michigan State against North Dakota State. The Spartans up 45-25 at halftime. One other score going on right now, Arkansas up 54-39 on Hawaii. Notable games from the first round already. Duke avoids disaster. 71-65 winners over Sienna after a monumental second half. And then High Point getting an upset, the 12 seed beating 5th seed Wisconsin 83-82. Those are your headlines, brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Derek Kramer. This is WGR.
Lamar holds all the cards here in Baltimore. He's got a no-trade clause. He's got a no-franchise clause. And so he can kind of run this thing out as much as he wants. Like, he could run it down to the wire next year at the end of the year, and the Ravens are facing an $80 million cap hit or something, and decide where he wants to go. Now, I still think he wants to stay here, but the longer you wait, I think the tougher it is on the team. And I think that's something the fan base is starting to go, does he really want to be here? Is it about the money, or what is the deal? So I do think, look, Lamar, I think he wants to be here in Baltimore, but I think his savvy business sense is kind of upsetting some of the fans in this long-term waiting period.
Jeremy Kahn from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore with us earlier today. Welcome back to Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog here. We're just talking about the timing of all this. I'll just say it to you. If I'm on a road trip to Buffalo for these games, and probably I would need for Michigan State not to be my team, or North Dakota State, for that matter, the game going on now, like a casino in the vicinity would be important to me. If I'm with, like, your Adam Krautwursts, your Nick Costantinos, your Louis G's, we want to hang out here.
I definitely know 2 of those 3 people.
For some of it, and I think I would leave that game now, because it's short this year. 7:10 for Michigan is about right for the early night game, but they started at 1:30 today, and Michigan State went at 4:27. There's not a lot. They have to. It's going to be tough. No, like, they got to clean out the building.
Yeah,
you can't hang. You can't stay after this second game.
Separate admission.
It's halftime right now. Right. Separate ticket.
Right.
So, I don't know. I bet people will not get in there in time for tip.
So even if you have tickets for both sessions, you
have
to go out and come back in.
Yep.
Right?
I mean,
I think that's how it works.
So that game could go to 6:30.
And then the next game starts 40 minutes after that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which it probably will because of TV, no matter what the crowd situation is.
That is not. I know plenty of people in the bar and restaurant business, but I have not talked to any of them that have places down here. But I'll bet they're not happy about that.
There's no break.
That's really tough. I do know one of my friends. I think I mentioned this. We were talking to Sal. He's going to go to he's going to everything, and he told me, like, there's food trucks at Canal Side or something. Like, he's like, we're probably just going to do that because. And this is a guy that's not traveling. He's from here. I mean, he knows every nook and cranny of the city. It's just like there's not time to go to any place, really. Like, even just, 2 blocks from the arena. It's like you're pushing it. Especially if the place is going to be crowded. Like, now let's say you walk 15 minutes to get somewhere, and it's all jacked up. And now you got to walk 15 minutes back, and you still haven't eaten. If you sign up to be on the list for a table, you're going to be waiting. It's tough. It's tough.
You got to skip this game, or at least the second half or more of it, or the Michigan game. And those are the 2 marquee teams.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough.
I think usually the second game on an afternoon session would be over by now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or by 5 even. And now they're looking at probably 6:30. You know, you get the point. Yeah, tough for the restaurants maybe.
Tough, yeah.
But for the fans, like it's
tough for them too. Yeah,
it's right down the street, but it's not next door. Like I'm saying, I mean,
right.
It's
like end around 6:30, 7:10. I didn't know it was that tight. That is really pushing it.
Well, we'll see.
I hope everybody finds their way through it. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting crowded in here now because people are, it's Michigan State's up by 20.
Yeah.
At halftime. It's not going to be, in my opinion, a fun year to talk about potential NFL rules changes. Maybe that's okay. We've had enough with the kickoffs and everything else. But we have 2. Maybe, I guess I have to say maybe there could be others.
Is this counting the draft pick thing?
Yes. The Browns' idea is to allow teams. We had this a month ago. It came out to let teams trade draft picks 5 years away, and the current rule is 3. Whatever. Is that interesting enough to even talk about? I don't know. Sure. No.
I keep seeing. I've seen numerous mentions of fans should want it. It's going to lead to more action.
Will it?
Like, okay, that might be right.
Shouldn't be less.
Right. And I don't know. I mean, who doesn't want more action? But I'm all right with the level of action. It's sort of like, do I need more playoff games? No. Will I watch them? Yeah.
Right.
So okay, I guess that validates it. I find myself not caring at all about draft picks 5 years down the road, being on the table or off the table. I mean, I don't. It means nothing to me.
And here's the other one. 2 proposed rules changes. That's one. The Steelers' idea to make permanent, we'll have to, let me just read it, and then you can tell me what I actually said.
Okay, I'll pay attention.
To make permanent the change implemented during the 2025 season that permits clubs to have 1 video or phone call with no more than 5 prospective unrestricted free agent during the 2-day negotiation period, and to permit clubs to make travel arrangements with such players upon agreeing to terms.
I stopped a third of the way paying attention a third of the way through that.
This is not good strategy by me for our show.
Also,
even read that.
Also, I think I care less about that than the draft pick thing.
I don't even know what it is.
I checked out.
Clubs can make a phone call
5 or more
with no more than 5 UFAs during the legal tampering. What is that? What was the rule before? More? There's a limit. The Steelers want there to be a limit.
I don't know
on how many calls you can make, not signings.
This is either a year for confusing or irrelevant to me suggestions, because maybe the ones that were on the field of play were more interesting. But I didn't work my way through any of that either, because everything I saw about it was like the Rams have dropped their proposal. They had something that they wanted to push for based on that wacky 2-point conversion that in their regular season game that got Seattle the division and got them second place. It was a big play.
Charbonnet.
That 2-point play that you went to commercial thinking it was a miss, and you came back like, wait a second, here's this and that, and and it's tied. What? What the heck just happened here? But even that, the whole thing was just so confusing. That play was confusing. I don't think I've ever really understood what happened there. And then the change of the rule was only going to be further confusing. It's like, just let me know what the rule is. I don't want to read the proposal.
The big one is that they might not have the real refs.
That's right as well. Yes.
Which that should go great.
Went so well the last time.
Oh, Seattle. Speaking of Seattle, that's the that's the play, isn't it?
Right.
Green Bay,
like a
Golden Tate,
corner of the end zone, and did like one guy run up and like touchdown, and the other guy went incomplete.
Right.
Or something.
There's a picture of them both doing that at the same time.
Right.
And they did go with the home team.
No, I got it. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, tough one there.
Tough one. Halftime, down the street. Michigan State up 20 on North Dakota State. Earlier today, Louisville held off South Florida. Tonight, Michigan and Howard at 7:10. I still want to say, I want to say again, I think that game goes on time, no matter what, because of television.
Yep.
And then St. Louis and Georgia is the late one.
Is that the first game in the evening window?
Second.
Second, okay.
6:50 for North Carolina and VCU. Rams versus Tar Heels.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's a good matchup for mascots. They're kind of the same. Does Carolina have an elephant? What do they have? Like
I think they have.
Something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ram adjacent?
I don't know if an elephant would be ram adjacent.
Okay, well, I'm not saying an elephant is, but I think whatever they have is.
Okay, gotcha.
I want to say. All right, time for a break. Back to Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino after this. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog Paul at 6 on WGR. Welcome back. We are at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino, right behind the Styx Sports Lounge here, really central location. We're not in a position where we can watch the tournament, but right now there's not a lot to see. The game in Buffalo is a one-sided affair. Michigan State up 20 at the half. Not sure if the second half has started there. And the other game is not that close either. Hawaii and Arkansas. Throw out the record books. Arkansas up 17. They are 5 minutes into the second half downtown, and Michigan State leads by 26. I'm thinking, I can't see the games anyway, so obviously what I can see is walls of slot machines, and I'm trying to think which one I'm going to go for when I get done and use my my free play.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I haven't decided yet. I like the game show ones. But I think those might be harder to win.
Yeah.
Because the games, it has to cost money to license that.
They still have that? Like, there still are game shows? Or are these like
the classics?
Are these throwback games? Like, is there a Wheel of Fortune slot? Well,
absolutely.
Wheel of Fortune still exists,
I would bet you
yeah.
heavily that there's one in this room.
Okay.
At least one.
All right.
Price is Right. Talk to Brad about that.
Price is Right?
He and I used to hang out and play the Price is Right slot game. They got a little bit too, for my taste anyway, a little bit too high tech.
Oh boy!
After that, and now like they're all just screens. I would say.
Right.
But that's fine. Free play is free play. I like video poker. I'll tell you. I feel like I know all the moves.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that tracks. All right.
What would you do? Let's find out what Bulldog would do. What would you do in video poker if you got, all right.
You're really going to ask someone who's never played poker what they would do on a video poker machine.
Yes, I am.
With the X hand. This
Yes.
is about to happen.
Yes.
Okay, get ready for a great answer.
All right, let's try Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades, 10 of Spades, Jack of Clubs, 10 of Clubs.
This isn't playing. I swallowed fun. Sorry.
Ace of Spades, Jack of Spades, 10 of Spades, Jack of Clubs, 10 of Clubs.
I cannot believe the timing of that.
I can.
I literally choked on a sip of water.
I can. Yeah. So
I think I would try. I would try to get all the spades.
Yes.
I think I would try to get all the spades.
You would throw back the two pair.
I would throw. Yeah.
What if it's like so anytime you get 4 to a royal, you have to go for the royal, even if it's like your fifth card is an ace of something. You have to throw back that. You have to go for the.
Yep.
Imagine pulling the card you needed for the royal flush, but you don't win because you had to have that pair. I mean, you couldn't live with yourself.
No, that would not.
You have to go for the royal.
Okay. Yeah.
Although sometimes when I've been in long sessions,
so even though I have no idea what I'm talking about, my instincts were correct.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's the book play. The book play is going to be the two pair,
right?
Or just the jacks,
right? But
depending on the format, or just the jacks. But
listen, when you're
the book play is not winning big.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, when one's gambling motto is I would rather lose $10 than win 12, you're not playing for the pair.
No, you're playing for the glory.
Right.
You want that royal flush. You want the room to come to a complete halt, and bells and sirens and security and wads of money.
Yes.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
That's what I'm going for.
That's what it's all about.
That's why I always have to bet one more hockey game. And then, look at that. I went 4 out of 5. They don't pay you for that.
Sometimes, you get the open-ended straight flush is fun. Then you're throwing back. I mean, that's usually lower cards, so there's no guaranteed win like if you had a pair of jacks in that other one.
Right.
You're definitely going for that, I would say. You can really, it's your money.
For now.
I think my card will work over there. I'm going to play a little video poker.
All right.
Maybe I'll do it right now before Paul comes on. Then I'll ask Paul how he thinks I did with my. It's one thing to ask you.
I'll sign up for that.
It's another to ask Paul, who is not, I think, inclined. You're not going to see him.
No. Weren't we talking to him
about Vegas?
In Vegas, and
yeah.
he was telling some story from like 50 years ago when he bet something or something. He's still walking around with that. So
he said he played $100 blackjack hand once because he wants to get it over with. So he played a hand for $100.
Yeah.
I once won 10 blackjack hands in a row at $10 each and never upped my bet. I'm not proud of it. Paul Hamilton after sports, casino stories from the casino here on WGR.
The Buffalo Sabres continuing their West Coast road trip tonight, taking on the San Jose Sharks at Buffalo's pregame skate. Alex Tuck took part after missing Tuesday's game with an illness. Alex Lyon had his own net in practice, an indication that he will start against San Jose tonight. Face-off for Sabres and Sharks set for 10 o'clock tonight. Pregame will get started at 9 right here on WGR. Around the NHL, 10 other games in the league tonight, several that could affect the Eastern Conference playoff race. Boston hosting Winnipeg, Detroit facing off with Montreal, Ottawa taking on the Islanders tonight, Columbus at home against the Rangers. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay in Seattle to face the Kraken. In football, according to ESPN, the NFL is looking into the potential of replacement referees if a CBA cannot be reached before the current one expires in May with the officials. To college hoops, NCAA tournament action. The round of 64 has been underway all day. Buffalo in the midst of hosting 4 games today. And for more from KeyBank Center, we go once again to Brian Koziel. Brian, how's it going downtown in KeyBank Center?
Hey, Derek, we are halfway through the second half of the second game, and 3-seed Michigan State in control right now over the 14-seed North Dakota State. It's 69-48. Big game so far for Carson Cooper. He's got 20 points in 23 minutes. Also, Jeremy Fears, their leading point guard, he has 11 assists in the game. It's been pretty much Michigan State in control throughout, as Tom Izzo's team has had a substantial lead throughout most of the game. They, if they advance, will play Louisville, who won in Game 1 earlier today. The Cardinals held on to beat South Florida 83-79. 2 more games, as you said, later tonight. Top seed Michigan will take on 16-seed Howard, and then in the 8-9 matchup, Georgia will face St. Louis. So still more than halfway here to go in the second of 4 games today here in Buffalo. And then, of course, 2 will be in the round of 32 coming up on Saturday. Brian Koziel reporting courtside here at KeyBank Center. Derek, back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Other scores that are going on right now, only one other game in progress. Arkansas up big on Hawaii with about 11 minutes left in the second half. It is 75-55 for the 4th-seeded Razorbacks. Meanwhile, earlier today, a major upset did happen. 12-seed High Point taking down 5th-seed Wisconsin 83-82. Top overall seed in the tournament, Duke, escaping disaster. They stormed back in the second half to beat Sienna 71-65. This update is brought to you by Paddock Chevrolet, with you for the extra mile since 1935. I'm Derek Kramer. This is WGR.
You might even already have processed this, how lucky you are right now that Paul is with us so that you're spared a roulette report from me. Things have picked up here at Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. The closest gaming action to us is roulette. And
there's a crowd over there.
There's a crowd over there. Roulette's a fun game to play with a group. Or, craps is my favorite, but roulette's fine. And I see that the dreaded 00 on they've got a scoreboard. There's a roulette scoreboard, so you can see like the last 20 spins. Well, I guess you're getting a roulette report, which is the point was not to do that to you. Paul Hamilton doesn't care at all. No question needs to be asked about how things are looking at roulette. Joining us now on the Western Hotline. A quick opportunity to correct me if need to be corrected on that, Paul.
Well, I was in Las Vegas and I did not do any roulette or blackjack or craps or anything. I did not do any gambling.
Today I feel somewhat of an obligation to dabble since we're here. I'm already here.
Yeah, I think when Paul joined us the other day from Vegas, he was telling us about a time he was betting on what animals were going to be on the Noah's Ark or something. It was a long ago.
That is a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Hopefully he knew that we're 2 of each. That would have been good inside information.
That's pretty well documented.
Yes. All right, Paul, how's California?
Good. 87 degrees here in San Jose. Had an opportunity to dine outside with Rob and Dan last night, so that was a lot of fun.
Does Rob still eat burgers like the size of his head?
No, we were actually at a regular restaurant, so he had to eat salad and
fish.
chicken parm and meatballs, and he went to town. He enjoyed himself.
Good. So Sabres coming off the shutout of the Golden Knights on Tuesday night. What did you like the most?
Well, the fact they were able to protect a 1-0 lead for 40 minutes, I think, and especially since they did give up some opportunities where Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen had to make some phenomenal saves. But they blocked some shots, which was good. They did lock it down and held it to 1-0 before they got the empty net goal to make it 2-0. The thing that really, I think, hurt them is that the shots that were coming at their goaltender to make the save at the other end, Aiden Hill just watched the Sabres pass the puck. He didn't, really have to do too much other than that.
Yeah.
Because they had 5 or 6 2-on-1s, and the only one that shot was Tyson Kozak, and the rest of them all tried to pass to covered guys. It's almost like what I don't understand is the C opens. Like the other team knows that they're going to pass every time. So they let the guy with the puck basically walk right down the slot. And then they all gang up on the other guy and cover him to make sure that they can intercept the pass that they know is coming.
Yeah.
And how does the guy that's coming open down the slot not realize he's coming open down the slot?
That's something you shouldn't have to work real hard to have an awareness of. Yeah, I don't know how guilty Ryan McLeod was in any of this on Tuesday, Paul, but in our house, between my son and I, and it's more him than me, like he comes into the zone with the puck and has a chance to shoot it, and I was just like, he's never going to shoot it. And I would think if you're playing the Sabres, you probably know that.
Yeah, no,
right?
I'm the same way.
Right.
I know he's not shooting it.
Right.
And it doesn't know how far off the guy with him is. He could be on a really bad angle. He could have 3 guys with him. It doesn't matter. He's getting the puck. Or they're going to attempt to give him the puck. That's what I should say.
Right. Well, this game on Tuesday, I think I saw you wrote right that you felt it was Luukkonen's strongest game of the year, and I don't disagree. I thought he was excellent in this game, especially like sort of one-and-done plays. There were a couple of rebounds where he had to be really slick and make a really great save on a puck that got off of him. But it felt to me like as grade A as some of those scoring chances were, they didn't turn into 2 and 3 shot opportunities. He was able to corral pucks on the ice right in front of him quickly. Like it wasn't a game where I felt like he was under siege, yet he made, I don't know, a half a dozen or more grade A saves. But it wasn't like, to me, I don't know, I guess I wouldn't say I felt like he stole the game. Do you disagree?
There were times he stole the game. I mean, he'd make one save, bang, make the other. He had their 34-goal score talking to himself by the end of the night. He was in on a couple of those that I'm describing. And, there were a few ones in there that he kind of stole the show for them. But what he wasn't doing, which he tends to do now and then, is be kicking the puck out into the slot, a big rebound, or overplaying the puck where he basically slides right out of the net, which is another habit he has from time to time. None of that was happening in that game. The rebounds were controlled.
Yeah.
He was in net. He wasn't sliding through the net. And, he just seemed to, read everything they were going to try to do to him and be there first.
Couple of defensemen to talk about here, Paul. Got to go back to Metza, right? Yesterday at this time we were talking about him and got an interesting call from a fan that I want to bring up as well. But even with Stanley, he just continues to impress.
Yeah, he helped Stanley. That was Lindy Ruff talked about it today. It was a better pair. And I think he's good for Stanley because if Stanley does make a mistake, he can help him. And he's there for him. So I think that's a good third pair for them. Metza, as we talked about yesterday, for sure has to be there, dressed every game. There's just no question he's their number 5 defenseman. That's not even, to me, it's not even a discussion. Some of the other defensemen are probably not happy, Kesselring or whatever, and I'm sorry you got injured, and it's what happened. And the 27-year-old rookie played quite a bit better than any of them. So he gets the spot as far as I'm concerned. And The others have to wait until there's an injury or whatever. And for Kesselring, it's been a tough year. I still think he's going to be a very good defenseman for the Sabres, but I think trying to find it this year, it's too late. I think we got to start. They have to start next year in training camp and basically start over with him. But I still think he is a very good defenseman when he's not injured.
Paul, I didn't notice, but it felt to me like Metsä, did he play exclusively with Stanley in this game on Tuesday?
Pretty much. He had a couple of shifts that I recall with Donnelly, but yeah, pretty much he did. And there was one play that was just, it led to one of the 2-on-1s we were just discussing.
I know. I talked about this play yesterday.
Yeah, where he noticed that Vegas was changing, and he popped a stretch pass to Ostlund, got him going down ice on a 2-on-1, and that he was coming right down Main Street. I mean, they weren't closing in on him at all. Why? Because they knew he was going to pass the puck to Tage Thompson, because he knows that the 21-year-old rookie is going to see the 44 goal scorer over there and say, I better pass the puck. Now, he's quite capable of shooting and scoring goals. He's done it so far this year coming up, but sure enough, he was wide open. He could have deked. He could have shot. He could have done anything. He could have taken it behind the net and come back out again. He could have done whatever he wanted, but he decided to pass to the guy who had two guys on him. And but it was all Metsä realizing that Vegas was in that change and got that stretch pass up and sprung him, and it was a really aware and nice play by him.
So I felt like through the game, there was maybe one shift in the third period where Metsä and Stanley were out there that I was a little nervous about. But I thought Metsä really maybe helped stabilize Stanley.
Yes.
It was easily the most comfortable he's looked playing, in this system and on this team. And, I hope they give that. I'm guessing that they're going to keep that together here tonight. Do you know?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And
good.
Yeah, there's no point in changing it. I mean, get ready for the playoffs. If this is your lineup and you want a big defenseman in your lineup for the playoffs, which is why you got him, and even that, what you were talking about, that one shift, Metsä still is able to calm it down.
Yep, bailed him out of it. That's right.
Even though it's starting to look like it's going to go bad, I can't tell you how many times in Rochester and Buffalo I've seen him look like he's beaten, but he's really not. It's amazing. I've really never seen a defenseman do this.
Yeah.
Where he looks like he's dead in the water, and next thing you know, he makes the play, and it's like, how did he do that? And he does it all the time.
Yeah, there was absolutely an example of this in the game on Tuesday where I thought a player, do I need to say a bigger player? Metsä is one of the smallest players in the league, I think. So, whatever. But I thought a guy had the corner on him, and he just regained his positioning well enough to just sort of guide him into the corner and diffuse it from being a situation where this guy was going to crash the net. Maybe there's a cross-crease pass, whatever. Metsä just kind of put the fire out, and I thought he was beat.
Yeah, no, I first noticed it when I was watching him in playoffs in Rochester last year and the year before. It happens more than probably should, but he knows what he's doing. So, again, he knows what he's doing, and he just figures it out as it's happening, and he's got a good mind for the game, and I think he never feels like he's out of a play. He just, thinks, all right, I'm here. How do I figure this out to make sure I get the puck over there?
With Paul Hamilton from San Jose, Sabres and Sharks, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock pregame on WGR. Mentioned a call we got yesterday around this time from a fan who brought up Owen Power, and the guy made a lot of good points we both liked. Basically, his reason for calling Paul was somebody should stick up for Owen Power. Like, he's really good at a lot of things that maybe don't get attention.
Not being talked about enough.
Yeah. Would you echo that?
Yeah, the goalie and I do it all the time. We're sitting there talking about it the same way.
My son, you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, I figured you know who I was talking about.
I was making sure for the audience.
By now, the audience, I think, knows who the goalie is too.
I was trying to make sure that they didn't think you were talking about Alex Lyon, Paul. That's all. Sorry.
I didn't know.
But yeah, we talk about that all the time. I don't feel a need to defend him. I feel he's played very, very well.
Yeah.
And I just think people get lost into what they used to see, and they think they're still seeing it because they're not watching carefully enough. And it's like, or he makes one bad play.
Right.
He's not perfect. He will have a bad game now and then. Still, he's not perfect, and that's when they pounce. That bad game. Oh, you should be in Rochester. You know the whole thing. And it's like, well, whoa. What about the 34 games before that?
Right.
You know, did you not notice the improvement at all? Did you not notice the thing I've been banging the table on for how long, that his coverages in the middle of the ice are much better than they had been? That he actually is covering somebody now instead of just standing next to him? I mean, to me, and you know, his passes are good coming out of the zone normally for the most part. And again, I don't need him to put somebody through the back wall. He is stronger, and because it's something they worked out with him, and he can ride people out of the play. But he doesn't have to put him through the back wall. I don't care. Kill the play.
Right.
That's all you need. Kill the play. Cover the guys in front. Block the shots when you have to. Get the puck. Get it up ice and go. He could probably be a little bit better offensively, but that actually recently is starting to come.
Yeah. You know, I think the offense, and forgive me, I don't think we got to this whenever it happened, and it could have been 2 games ago, it could have been 10. Okay, so I apologize. But I know there was a play in a recent game where he ended up sort of right in the slot with an opportunity, and the shot he got off, he was under some duress, and the shot was just sort of like, the play was to shoot it, sort of like you're saying, Paul, like he's open in the slot enough that you should take that shot. But it was just like giving it to the goalie, like, here you go. And I said to Owen, like, I hope someone, a video coach somewhere on their, you know, administrative coaching depth chart, that puts together reels for guys to look at, you know, for the coaching staff to go over, even at exit meetings, not necessarily even now, because now is a tough time to work on your shot. But I feel like I would want to cite that example, that play, and give to Owen Power and say, like, go work on your shot. Go shoot 1,000 pucks a day.
Uh-oh.
Or something. Like, just go do it, because I think there is another step that could be taken there offensively if he could develop that. And, like, I think it's great that there would be this example they could give him and say, like, this could have been a much more dangerous play, and you're a much more valuable player if you can do this. And so I do think there is more there still.
If you recall, and this goes to that, I think you're right that they probably did go over this with him, was the goal he scored when Benson came in and gave him that backhand pass from behind the net. And he recognized the forecheck and came into the slot. He did let that one fly.
Yep.
And it almost, as you were saying that, I thought to myself, yeah, I bet they did. I bet exactly what you're saying. I bet somebody did go over it with him because he did it better that time. A lot better than the one you were describing.
Yeah,
I didn't. Was not the appropriate reaction in the middle of that. But it was just when you said 1,000 pucks a day, it reminded me that my daughter was in a program, I think for 2 years, where it was 10,000 pucks in the summer, in like their off season.
Yep.
I think the number was 10,000. And we just that was always like top of mind at home is what are we at? How many today? Is that 100? I guess 100's good, but do we have 100 days here? Like you got to do 100 for 100 days. Like it was so many.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what I needed. Nobody had me do with 10,000 pucks
10,000
or anything
pucks.
when I played because any goal I scored was within 5 feet of the net. I certainly wasn't going to come rolling down the left wing and beating them with any slap shots.
I never have forgotten talking. I was on the air, I think with you. Do you remember, Mike, talking with the late, great Rick Martin one time? And, I mean, I've talked to him many times on the air, but I think this was with you. And I asked him, like, your shot. Like, how did you get – and he's like, I just shot pucks all day, every day as a kid. Like, that's all I did. I just shot.
That works sometimes.
That works. It's skill development. Like I just shot pucks
to the point where he could put the puck through that little hole that the photographers use in the corner glass.
Right.
I guess that.
You know what didn't work is when they had him come on as a skills coach.
Right.
And that very often happens. You know, like I remember for 2 years, my coach in college had us come help coach hockey school in the summer. And since I was the fastest guy on the team, he wanted me to coach skating. I'm like, I don't know how I do it. I just do it. Right. I can't explain to the kids, well, this is how you skate fast. I don't know. I can't explain it. I just know it happens.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
Before you go, Paul, San Jose, it's a big game for them. 1 point out.
Yeah, they've been having their problems. They've only won, 5 of 15, I believe it is. And the Sabres did a pretty good job on Celebrini in the 6-3 win in Buffalo. He did score, but that's because the Sabres basically handed the Sharks the puck. Yeah. And it was a horrible turnover. But other than that, they did a pretty nice job of kind of hassling him and getting a piece of him and not letting him be too dangerous out there. So I think that's going to have to be part of their game plan. Don't turn it over to him because he's going to score on that turnover. And then just play him the way you did the rest of the game.
I think that turnover, if I remember, was Alex Tuck cross the defensive zone. Speaking of him, is he okay for tonight?
Yeah, I chatted with him just briefly, about 30 seconds in the room, and he said he felt really good. He said he actually feels better than he thought he would a couple of days ago. He goes, it was a tough one. I said, well, what about stamina? And he says, you know what, I've done this before. I kind of, know how to figure that out and everything. He goes, I'm not worried about that at all, and that was our conversation.
Any other changes?
No. The third pair will be what it is. Of course, the alternating goal. Yep. So it's Lions' turn to be in goal. And I was asked the question today, well, the alternating goal is just fine, but Luukkonen earned the right to play this game. And I said, well, I could go back to as long as they've been doing this, and I could say, well, Lyon earned that game and Luukkonen earned that game.
Right.
You're talking about a goaltender who is 16-2.
Right.
And you're saying he doesn't belong in net with a .924 save percentage. Luukkonen was great. He'll play in Los Angeles. Don't get all twisted about all this.
Yep.
I mean, Lyon earned his way at 16-2.
Yeah, it ain't broke.
This works for me.
Yeah. Maybe at some point we'll get into a conversation about whether they have to make a decision on that for the playoffs, but, we can kick that can down the road for now.
No reason to do anything different
right
yet. Very good. Paul, thanks. Enjoy the game.
Take care, guys.
That's our man Paul Hamilton in San Jose. As Mike said, Sabres and Sharks face off a little after 10. Pregame with Brian Koziel and Paul rolls at 9. Paul's appearance with us today and every day brought to you by Relax Honda. Relax, we got this.
Almost everybody that matters plays tonight. Tampa at Vancouver. That's at 10, just like our game.
Yeah.
They'll be a big favorite there. Minus 305, actually. Sabres are minus 142. They're favored on the road. Montreal at Detroit is at 7. Canadians a small road favorite there. Very slight.
All right.
Difference. Boston hosts Winnipeg. Advantage Boston. Ottawa hosts the Islanders. That's everybody in the Atlantic that matters. Ottawa, slight favorite at home to the Islanders. They matter in the Metro. So does Columbus. Columbus home to the Rangers. They're a pretty big favorite there. It feels like everybody's winning.
Yep.
And tonight sort of sets up to be that night, too. Everybody's a favorite. I mean, Montreal and Detroit play each other. And then who did I leave out? I don't know about if Carolina plays. They played last night.
No, they don't. Florida plays, but they're out of it. You said the Lightning already. Flyers are out of it.
Pittsburgh?
They're out west. Pittsburgh, I don't see here.
Pittsburgh's a no.
Did you mention the Bruins?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, then you covered it.
It's covered. Roulette update. 14. Maybe you were playing along in your car. I'll pick a number. I wonder if it hit. And you don't want it to hit because you didn't win. You have to be here.
That's how that works.
Yeah, unfortunately. You don't have a better system.
You could have a proxy, I suppose.
Yeah. 14. Earlier today, we spoke with Jeremy Kahn, 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore, about, some NCAA tournament, and then also the Ravens. Mike Schopp and the Bulldog. That's next from Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino. This is WGR.